Like we do it again, and she knows to give kisses. Hello, gamers, and welcome to the new episode of Express Lane, the show that brings you speedruns in 60 minutes or less. I'm your host, Otso424, with occasional guest appearances from Galahad and my other corgi co-host, Freya. And, you know, here's the thing. I had a birthday celebration with Galahad last year when he turned 8. Well, in 2 days, Freya is turning 5. So she helped me go onto our website, gdq.gg/hotfix, and we looked at all the people that submitted runs for various hotfix shows, and her, being the wonderful, cute little chaos gremlin that she is, decided on 4 specific runs that she really wanted to see and really wanted to show them off to all of you. So this is your reminder, friends. If you want to know what's coming up for latest episodes of Hotfix, or you want to submit a run, go to gdq.gg/hotfix. And you know, maybe next time my corgi co-host will choose your runs. So looking at the runs she chose for today's episode, we're ending today with Sheepherds, which she told me that there are a bunch of corgis that are going to be present there too. We have Super Mario World, we have Final Fantasy XVI, and to start things off, we are going to Resident Evil 4 Remake, Separate Ways, New Game Plus, No Infinite Ammo with Faison Tunic. So hello, friend, how are you?
Hello there, Asuka. My name is Faison Tunic, and I run a bunch of different games, but today I'm going to be showcasing one of my all-time favorite runs to you all, and that is Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways New Game Plus. So fun, so fast-paced, but we're going to be doing a couple things before we start off here, after I introduce our amazing co-host, who you just saw perform Bioshock Infinite Gunless just a moment ago, a variety pack. Thank you for being here, Variety.
Absolutely.
And before we get started with the run, there are 2 things that you have to do with every Resident Evil 4 run to make it valid. One of them is the recording has to actually start on the title screen. So we're on the title screen here, not rather the title screen, but the main menu. And after that, we actually have to look at the costume screen. Now, the reason we have to look at the costume screen is because some of the costume choices actually have huge effects on how your gameplay works, and they're unlocked through challenge points, which you unlock for completing certain objectives in the game, right? Well, this run, we will not be using any special unlocks. So in Leon and Ada's accessory slot, they're able to put on this Cat Ears accessory that gives them infinite ammo in all guns and they never have to reload. So we're gonna do this without that on. So it'll be a little bit more challenging. You'll see me managing my ammo a little bit more closely, but it is still New Game Plus, so we have a file with more than enough ammo to get every enemy we need taken care of. But we will be doing it with only weapons we can purchase from the merchant. No extra unlocks. So here we go. Time will start in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck.
All right, good luck.
Now, this game is actually timed in-game time. So really what happens with the timer doesn't matter as much. But you're going to see me utilizing one of the greatest things that the merchant can give us in this run. And that is the rocket launcher. Did you miss that boss fight? Because I sure did.
Yeah, I blinked.
So the nice thing about Resident Evil 4 is that you can buy the infinite rocket launcher without having infinite ammo on and without unlocking anything special. So that will make this run a lot quicker than it would be without that. So we should be able to put up a pretty competitive time here, even though you'll see me constantly reloading my shotgun. But it is a-okay. So first thing we're gonna do there is actually turn off aim assist. I do it every run. Some people run with it on. It really bothers me. I like to choose where my shots go, not the AI. So we're gonna turn that off and then run through the tops of this castle section. Now, fun fact, that rocket shot that we planted into the boss's feet, that's the only shot we're gonna fire this whole chapter. Chapter 1 is gonna be done before I shoot another time. So chapter 1 is really, especially in a speedrun context, if you know where you're going, we're just going to fly through this. Now, here's the most dangerous part. I could get hit with any number of these flaming arrows, but thankfully it did not happen today.
Nice.
And that is the end of chapter 1. And I went to split. I forgot I don't have my splits up. But after that, we're going to move into chapter 2. Now, chapter 2, you're going to see me actually doing some things to manipulate the enemy behavior a little bit. First of which is I'm going to walk to the very end of these platforms before I grapple, which is going to put me just out of reach of the 2 enemies that could grab me and stun me there. Then we'll kick this guy, knock him over, go past, and then there's actually an out of bounds clip we could do here that saves like 15 to 20 seconds. But for today, we are just going to shoot 1 rocket at this cowman and then run through here with our camera facing down, which should trigger this guy to run after us and the arrow guy to shoot. But because we were doing camera shenanigans, we got around it. So that is probably the hardest part of chapter 2, but there is kind of another fun little AI manipulation we'll be doing here where there's actually a gate coming up, and we don't want to open the gate because opening the gate is slow. So we're going to have the enemies open the gate for us by forcing the game to throw more enemies at us by killing these 2. So we're just going to plant 1 explosive crossbow shot right there. Quick turn around and run out here, and what you'll now see is these 2 enemies will push this gate open, allowing us to run straight past them. Now here, if we kill this enemy, which is unfortunate, he didn't throw his axe, so he might hit me from behind with it. Oh, and I missed the arrow dodge as well. But thankfully, because we did not kill, ran a little bit too far. Because we did not kill enough of the enemies there, it did not spawn the boar-headed kind of boss enemy on that bridge, which is super helpful because it means we can just run right by him. And yeah, now this is kind of a self-explanatory section. Ada's gonna trip here. She always trips, it just happens. But after that, we are going to come up to our first puzzle of the run. Super quick one. We're gonna knock this lady over, and before she gets up, we are going to enter the puzzle code if the game would not drop my inputs. Thank you very much, game. And then onward to our little church segment here. Now, there's actually a lot of enemies spawned in right now, but none of them are going to mess with us because they're very religious. They have to go to church first. So we're going to run up to the church, skip these 2 cutscenes, and a brief dialogue with Wesker here. And we will be on our way to the boss fight of chapter 2. Correct me if I am wrong, but I do believe every chapter in Separate Ways has some sort of small boss fight in it. The chapter 2 one is a little tricky. There is a fast strat here where we are going to attempt to insta-kill this boss with this rocket shot here. But if we miss it, then it initiates the animation of the fight truly beginning, and we don't want that. So we're going to skip this cutscene, place our shot right here, and
Well done.
perfect.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. Now for the
yeah, that's another. The housekeeper boss fights tend to be a little bit trivialized in New Games Plus, but I don't mind it. It lets us do the run a little bit faster. Now, instead of the cat ears that we're not using, I'm actually using the fancy jewelry set, which I do enjoy running, because I like seeing it bob around when Ada runs. So now we are going to enter the village leader's house. I do forget his name. I knew his name. I've seen like hundreds of hours of Resident Evil lore videos. I should know this. It's Torres Mendez. That's what it is. I do know it. And to escape this section, we're going to have to reveal the secret key behind this painting. Keep our camera very focused on the wall there so we can grab the key easily. It's one of the nice things about running third-person Resident Evil games in general is they tend to be more forgiving with trigger hitboxes than some of the first-person ones do. I know I've spent the last several months running like almost exclusively Resident Evil 9, and some of those first-person triggers are so annoying compared to this game.
I just love how like camera angles and Resident Evil are like so hand in hand no matter which one you're looking at.
Oh yeah, we're totally always manipulating the camera. My right thumb on the camera stick is getting a thorough workout every time I do a run.
Nice.
But yeah, so we escaped getting grabbed by a couple enemies there, and we will now enter this next sequence where we're going to have to do a couple things. First of all, we're gonna sidestep this bear trap, loses a ton of time. Then we're gonna crouch here and walk under the trigger for this that mine, so that it'll actually blow up. Unfortunately, I planted that rocket shot a little too close. You saw Ada staggered there. That's kind of the hard part about utilizing the rocket is that if you shoot too far, you'll miss your enemy, and if you shoot too close, then Ada will get stunned by it. So it's sort of always about finding that sweet spot. Here we always have to stop. There's some kind of weird cutscene that really is because Ada is technically infected at this point in time, if I remember correctly. And you'll see that will be the case until a couple chapters into the future, where we will actually spend that chapter crafting a cure for the infection. Thanks to Luis. Do not know why Ada crouched there. Oh, I totally do. It's because I hit the RE9 crouch button. And now we will skip this cutscene, fire a rocket shot at this guy, and then I'm gonna look down. I'm gonna look down, run past this guy.
It's a nice floor.
Run past this next lady. I know, it's such a nice floor. Thankfully, we did not get stabbed.
Nice.
We're going to open this gate, and then here, actually, we do a little trick where you just run straight to this. Oh, yeah, you saw the chainsaw on the screen there. If we're too slow there, we get chainsawed, and it loses a lot of time. So thankfully we got it, and we are onwards back to being in Mendez's house here for the final time of the run, where I am going to equip a flashbang for this next section. There's actually a couple ways to deal with this section, and I've explored all of them. Shotguns, explosives, but flashbang's pretty efficient. You can take out this Plagas head and then also stun this enemy behind him, and it lets us just kind of run through this cave without really having any kind of opposition there. Now I'm going to re-equip my shotgun in case we get targeted by some of these axe-throwing guys up here later, and I'm unable to dodge them, but it's really just kind of a contingency plan. Because first of all, in this building, right after we jump in, there will be a guy that throws an axe here. Thankfully, he did not try to throw it at us today, so we got right by him without even having to dodge. Now, the next guy here, if we can make it in time, should push these doors open for us. Oh, shoot, the door's shut. But we were able to dodge his axe throw, thankfully. But the ideal strat is if you can do it fast enough. Oh, that's unusual. I don't think I've ever been grabbed by her before. But there's a first time for everything, so that's fun. Now we're going to come up to one of the most cinematic boss fights in this run, for sure. And that is the El Gigante fight, who is actually about as tall as these buildings we're walking through. So, really menacing boss, especially on your first playthrough. Definitely not going to be solved by any sort of rocket launcher shenanigans.
Oh. Well then.
So that was El Gigante. I do very much enjoy that fight in the base game when you're not on New Game Plus. But thankfully, once you beat New Game the first time and are on New Game Plus, this rocket launcher becomes purchasable from the merchant shop. So Super helpful. We're gonna carry it around here just to flex, but we're not really gonna use it for a very long time here.
What would I do?
Now we're gonna trigger some switches here, which are gonna enable us to sort of go through this long sequence where we're descending this tower and then ascending the tower again. We're sort of looking for the cure that I was talking about before, right? That's why we're with Luis here. So I'm actually gonna stand out to the side beside that box in the room, because it'll pull all those enemies towards one side and let us run past them without killing all of them. Super helpful. And now we will make the smartest decision of all time, carrying a loaded RPG through a flaming room.
That sounds about right.
So now Ada did a nice thing that I was actually going to talk about anyway, which I don't know if this does this on PC variety, but on console, if you hit forward on the control stick, like too many frames before she loads in from the cutscene, Ada will just run in a completely random direction instead of running forward.
As long as you get me out of here.
And so she actually did it to us there, which it's always fun when that shows up. Now we're going to run up to the lock on this door, knife it off, run through, skip a cutscene, skip some dialogue, and on to our next fun puzzle solving sequence. Yay, we love puzzles.
Likewise.
I grew up playing Zelda, so I definitely do love puzzles. But
Yep, that would do it. I was a Dr.
first
Mario
we will...
person.
You were what?
I was a Dr. Mario.
You know what? Dr. Mario 64 is one of my favorite games to play with friends, like when we all get together. There's no kind of fury like the kind of fury when somebody gets the last virus right before you do.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we're going to point blank range take out these two Ganados with our shotgun. You'll see I have 64 shots left. So like I said, this file is really set up. We are going to quickly take out the puzzle with the fast solution there. Quickly reload our shotgun, as I talked about before. I love ammo management. And then run here to our next little puzzle sequence, which requires me to hit my shots. Oh, I missed. That's unfortunate. But now we will grab the first ingredient in our backup cure, because that's actually what burned up in that flaming place. And also, everyone say bye, Leon. Leon was in that cutscene. Bye, Leon. So the original doses of the cure were burned in that fire from earlier. So this chapter, we are going around creating a new one from random ingredients that Louis tells us about, like ink. So here, we are actually going to be utilizing explosives to trigger these targets faster than shooting them normally would. And then we're going to do a little mini skip here where we throw this heavy grenade on this line at the same time as we pick up this lantern. And that makes it so the drill gets triggered, but we already have the first gate open, which means we can then just blast open this gate and shoot our final rocket shot directly where I shot the first rocket shot when I came up in here, and escape this room without ever getting anywhere near that large scary drill with spikes on it. So that's lovely. We will now run through, place the lantern here, which will let us crawl under this gate, and beginning our next sort of combat puzzle sort of combined sequence here. I do love this part a lot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a rocket right here, which is going to take out that armored Plagas head. The knight ones are very annoying because they're very much bullet sponges. But with a quick rocket to take out that one, and then some quick interaction with these switches, we're able to get through there and grab the gold bottle here, which is actually the one we need for the antidote. Now, here you're going to see me shooting these enemies, then to the one to the right, and then one final shot right here. And then if I have done that right, it should take out all 6 enemies with only 4 shots, which saves us the time it would take to line up and fire those extra 2 shots. Super, super helpful.
All right.
And it will let us get to our next little fun trick here after we run through this wine cellar thing, which I guess makes sense to be near where we find the wine bottle, right?
Yeah, I would agree.
So here, if you're familiar with the base game, that enemy you see over there that steals the key will run all over the place, and we have to chase him, and it's very annoying. So we throw that flashbang over the railing before we even trigger him to run, which stuns him long enough for us to quickly grab the key back from him, keep that Plagas head completely off of our camera so he doesn't bother us, and then run forward to get our final ingredient for the antidote and complete, I believe this is chapter 4. I usually use my splits to tell that, but they're not up.
I still have some unfinished.
It's somewhere between the first and the last one.
Oh, I was early on that cutscene skip. It's weird. Sometimes that load happens instantaneously, and sometimes it takes a few frames. I don't know if that's just because I have a 6-year-old launch PS5, or if because that's just the way the game is coded, but interestingly enough, it doesn't seem to make as much of a difference with the times for this game as the record time for this game, I believe, is done on Xbox Series X. But as I mentioned before, I also run Resident Evil 9, but there's actually a huge disparity on the console board for RE9, where the PS5 Pro runners are a good, several minutes ahead of everybody else because of load times.
I need to reach him.
And so that's kind of an unfortunate reality of how some of these modern games end up releasing, but it's also a very fun game too. So now we come up to a section where we have to avoid some enemies. Instead of avoiding this one, we're just going to cut them in half.
That works.
Then this one we are going to dodge. And this one we are also going to dodge. And that will let us run on to our next skip of the run, actually. And this skip saves a moderate amount of time. It's not a massive skip like the one you'll see later in Chapter 6. But what I'm actually going to be doing here is, after we make it through this hallway, which I normally call the reloading hallway, because if I've been bad about my ammo management during the run, I reload here. But what we can actually do is use this rocket launcher not to kill an enemy, but we will fire a shot through the gap in this gate right here, which we will make use of later. Oh, what was that? I think he just hit my rocket out of midair with an arrow shot. Is that what just happened? I've never seen that before, but I think that's what just happened. But essentially, we use the rocket shot to blow up a lock off of the back of that gate that we would normally have to knife or shoot off from this side. So that allows us to completely skip an entire room. Oh no, please do not hit me. Yeah, that guy was supposed to be dead if that first rocket shot had landed. But yeah, I really think that his arrow hit the rocket in midair. I'm not sure what happened there, but it blew up well before it was supposed to, and I definitely didn't hit the railing. But here we're going to kill these two Novistadors with that shot. And then run through this dark hallway and take out a couple more. Okay, that's unusual. He went to the right. He usually comes right for us. But this one we will take out. And then, oh, he came back! Novistador friend, good to see you. He was like, hey, you didn't kill me before because I dodged to the right. I'm going to come back and make your day harder.
That sounds about right.
So now we're going to disrespect the Gyrodor. We're going to kill him without him ever being on screen. We're going to shoot a shot right there. And then stand right here at this gate and just wait.
Huh.
And that was the Gyrodor fight.
Oh.
If you would like to see him, that is him down there. So that is what we like to call disrespecting the Gyrodor. And now we have our first elevator sequence of the run, which I think both of them are in Chapter 5. I'm going to utilize this time to take a quick water break.
No worries. And I'll use this quick time to mention that Coming up, we have a wonderful event called Summer Games Done Quick 2026, and it's going to be live in Minneapolis, Minnesota from July 5th through the 11th. Head on over to gdq.gg. You can learn more about the event or just register for the event. Also, you can check out the schedule that is live at gdq.gg/schedule. Perfect timing! Here we go.
Fantastic. You would think you're a speedrunner or something like that.
Right?
But here we are, onward to the final boss fight with the housekeeper. Can't be as trivialized as the other ones, I'm sure.
It was
actually a multi-phase fight. Hold on.
It was so fast. I went to go get my controller to press X to doubt and wasn't fast enough. I should say cross to doubt for PlayStation controller.
Cross to doubt, yeah. That is the final housekeeper boss fight done with. And now, after a nice little running segment here, we will get to the part where I have to do a lot of difficult tricks kind of in a row. Or, well, not necessarily always tricks, but there's some strategies that we can employ to make this next section a lot more painless than it normally would be. Because what you will see me coming up to after a little bit of race against the clock in this next section here is we will get to this section with big rocks that are designed to smash you and enemies that are designed to grab you while you are under the rocks and get smashed with you. So it can slow you down a lot. It can waste about a minute if you get smashed. So we're going to be killing a specific sequence of enemies that like to grab us to try to avoid that. So that's what you'll see me doing once I get into this cave. But first we're going to open this cave and clown on this Ganado a little bit here. He's going to try to grab us probably while we're turning the switch. That is kind of an interesting thing about this game if you're not really familiar with Resident Evil 4 lore, is that because they're infected with parasites rather than a virus, which the first 3 Resident Evil games feature, these zombies actually don't really bite. They more just kind of grab you and hit you with axes and things like that. So that's fun. But now here's some of the scary enemies. So we need to kill this lady. She is specifically problematic. She will run through and grab us. And these 3 enemies I like to just kill with that one pot shot because they have flaming crossbows and can shoot me while I'm trying to run. And, you know, it just loses a tiny bit of time for no reason. So now here it is, the big smashy rock section. So we're going to get through here just fine in one cycle. But this next section is not possible to one cycle. So what we're going to do is, this is going to smash. We're going to stop right here and crouch. And then blast this enemy. Oh, please let me free. Yeah, that got a little dicey there. Oh my gosh, he's still alive. Normally we just blast that enemy and run right through. I'm gonna wait for another cycle just to make sure. Oh boy. That was about as bad as I've ever seen that. I didn't mess it up once in my practice runs for this. And then somehow she did not die to our shot there. And it can all go bad very quickly there after that first grab. So you'll see me taking out these 2 enemies here. And then that's actually the only shot I'm going to use, or the only shots I'm going to use in this sequence. We're going to avoid this enemy. Bait this arrow. He's facing the other way. That happens sometimes. Okay, that was bizarre. That's not what the enemies normally do, but that's okay. We were a little bit behind due to how much time we spent earlier in that cave, so the cycles were a bit off. But normally we bait an arrow and then juke it to the side and then throw a flashbang to stun the guy who's about to grab us. But none of that stuff happened. So I'm not going to complain.
Ooh, elevator.
I know. Another elevator sequence. We're going to skip this little dialogue with Wesker, and then I will do a little dance.
Gotta keep the
Yeah,
client
I'll say,
happy.
one thing that, again, that you don't really see that often is the fact that, yeah, this is on PlayStation 5, and normally you see a lot of PC runs. And we talked a little bit before, based on that, you had mentioned it's like computer, kind of a glorified laptop, which I understand wholeheartedly. For me, I've always been on the side of having consoles and potato laptops and computers. But Variety, you also mentioned that you're a console gamer. Why is that for you specifically?
I regret to inform you that it's primarily just a skill issue. I just didn't grow up with PCs and stuff like that, so I'm sure I could get used to it, but that's too much effort on my part.
No worries. That's honestly me for controllers, because I look at a mouse and keyboard and I'm like, nope, I can't control anything. I'm just gonna have my controller. Thank you. Oh, I get you.
Yeah, I'm totally the same way. There's not much I can play on mouse and keyboard besides like games I only ever played on PC, so I don't know anything else. I'm actually okay. I'm actually low on health here, so I'm going to heal really fast. As you can see, I have a lot of those. And then we're going to do some more fun looking at the ground. Usually this helps us out a lot, and we can get by these 3 enemies without the door shutting, without getting grabbed. So that actually worked out really well there. And then I can plant 1 rocket shot right here. 1 rocket shot right here. 1 rocket shot right here. And then that should free us up to get on the elevator. Before we place a couple more rocket shots just to soften up our friends down there before we have to run through them.
Be just up ahead. But getting through.
Definitely a way to greet people. Here, please enjoy this rocket.
Here, please explode.
Right.
And so hopefully that took out the enemies it needed to take care of. We'll find out right now if there's a cowman running at us, and yes, there is. So we were going to avoid him, but we killed these 2, which is nice, which means we can run to the right here, run up this ramp, and then this guy likes to grab us, so we like to throw a little flashbang here. He got in my way. It's a little irritating. Doesn't always happen, depends on your timing, but I'm gonna flashbang these 2 enemies just to stun that little boar-headed ganado there. And this is actually chapter 6. Definitely the hardest part of the run. This is the run killer chapter, without a doubt. Where we are actually headed to right now is the scary regenerator lab. Everybody remembers regenerators from when they played RE4. Not a good time, but we're gonna show you a couple ways you can make it a little bit easier to deal with them. So, the first one of those is actually going to be planting a rocket right here on this wall. Just gonna let us walk past this regenerator. Then we are going to run through the scary evil lab sequence to the freezer, where we are going to grab the battery. Now, if you ask me, why in the world is this freezer powered by a battery pack that is located in the freezer? I could not ever give you an answer. But hey, you know, that's game design for you, so.
Yep.
That was
So we're going to grab it, and then run through here, skate through this little section here before I'm going to kill this guy over here. I like to call him Spider-Man because he kind of has little spidery clogus on his back. And then we are going to avoid / kill the final 2 regenerators. This one by going to the left, and this one by just shooting him. But he actually ran towards me a little bit more than he usually does, so I got stunned by that rocket shot. But normally we shoot him a little bit farther back, then we can run through a little bit easier from there. But now we come to one of my favorite sequences of the run that I'm sure anyone who knows this game has a lot of experience with. But during your first playthrough of Separate Ways, you're supposed to get Stingray sniper rifle in the lab here. And then following the lab, the game takes you through this sort of sniping sequence where you're stuck on a gondola as enemies are coming towards you on gondolas going the other way. Now, there's several ways to solve this section, to deal with it. The aforementioned sniper rifle is one of them. Some people prefer to use the explosive crossbow. Some people use rockets. I like to snipe them in the face with the pistol.
Oh, I love that.
So I'm going to be missing a couple shots because we're at extremely far distance here, and the blacktail does not give us extreme accuracy, but we're definitely going to hit more than one of them, and stop them from making our days a little bit harder there. Fun fact, because I actually missed a couple shots, the game did not spawn an extra enemy at me, so that is fun. But there's not really a way to do this section any faster or slower unless you get hit and have to pause and heal like I just did.
Someone took offense to being sniped with a pistol. That one in particular.
The final guy right there. Yep. I'm going to heal up fully again, even though we only took one hit, because now we are going to come up on probably the hardest, most make or break trick of the run. And I am going to be focusing a lot more than I have needed to for a lot of the other portions of this run. But for the first section of it here, we are going to be using the crossbow to fire some shots into these little turret huts, which will actually deactivate them and let us run by here. And then now I am going to run up here and focus for real. I have to kill these specific enemies so they don't bother me later, and then manipulate another enemy to make this work right. So right here, do that.
Yeah, essentially what a face-on is doing right here is abusing the fact that this laser, which is very deadly, has attachment issues, basically, by stunning the enemy at the proper time and kick him into, ideally, get the laser. The laser only targets one person at a time, so if we can abuse this fact and just run on by when the enemy's being eviscerated by
I love that you
laser
described
sights.
it as attachment issues. I'm like, what does variety mean? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so Variety is exactly right about that. What you actually just saw me employ there was a backup method where I used a flashbang to stun him. If I am standing in a really precise position and the enemy is in a precise position and the game gods align, we are able to get the enemy to walk into the laser on his own without having to use that flashbang or risk killing him. Because, fun fact, you can get a critical hit with a flashbang and it will kill him. The kick will kill him before he goes through the laser, I should say. And the laser only reacts to living enemies, not dead enemies. So thankfully, it worked out there. We did not get the flashbang crit, and we were able to kick him through because he did not want to cooperate and walk through to his death on his own, which, I mean, you know, why would anyone not want to do that, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So this next section, obviously, big escape sequence, big scary monster. I believe he has a human name, as he did used to be a human, but I don't remember it. Now here, I'm going to run through this and shoot a shot at the ground to blow myself backwards through those laser beams, which actually saves us having to wait a cycle for there to be a big enough gap to crouch under the lasers, which is super fun. Everybody likes strats where we have to blow ourselves up, right?
This is it.
Oh, of course.
Now, how to connect the device.
Now, unfortunately, our chase sequence with this monster is now coming to an end. We're going to have to escape the lab. What Ada just did there, actually, is Wesker had set up the whole island to... Well, Wesker had told Ada to set up the whole island to explode but she disabled a certain percentage of the explosives there to essentially spare Leon and Ashley and give them time to get out. So thank you, Ada. We appreciate you for that. But yeah, now we're going to do our nice little Mission Impossible dun 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 sequence and escape through here. And cutscene skip failed there, but that is the end of the chase sequence with the large monster, and we are on to chapter 7, the final chapter of this run.
Leon's headed for
So after that quick cutscene skip, we will run forward to some more rocket launcher shenanigans. Surprised?
Yeah, you'll.
Well, go.
Yeah, you'll notice that it does seem like we're using the rocket launcher for a lot of these things, but this one is fairly short. It's only around like 45-ish minutes, ideally less than that. So I think a common theme that you see on this show is that, yes, these runs are short. Yes, these runs give you a lot of abilities to use, and it seems like you're overpowered, but honestly, that almost makes the game harder in some ways, because every single little bit of time loss becomes monumental because you are so powerful. And I think Maison's doing a wonderful job at making sure that they are keeping up on pace despite all of the trials and tribulations.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, that is an excellent. I completely agree with that. Yeah, no, I think that. Hold on, I gotta remember to equip my flashbangs here and pick up that one. But yeah, what ends up happening is once you get your times past a certain point on this leaderboard, every run just has to be exactly perfect to PB, because you're doing such a specific sequence of things every time to get, the quickest stun and we almost got hit with that axe.
Wow.
That's why I crouched there, believe it or not, because almost every one of these elevator sequences, there's a guy that can throw an axe at you, but that was a fun little showcase of it. So we are now actually coming up to the final boss fight of the run against Osmond Sadler himself. And surely there's absolutely no way this is going to be as quick as any of the other ones. It's definitely
absolutely
harder.
not.
It's definitely harder. Definitely harder. But now that we've dealt with Sadler, we have located a rocket launcher which we need to deliver to Leon. So that is going to be our main objective for the rest of the run, is we are going to be running through, dodging as many enemies as we can. This timer you see above us is, I believe, the timer for the explosives being primed. And so we are going to just quickly cruise our way through Chapter 7, cutting some enemies in half to save us some time. We'll kick these two over, and then there's a trick here that I may or may not be able to get. We'll find out. That did not work at all. He turned into a Plagas head. Normally you're supposed to knock him backwards and he'll fly through the trigger for the explosive and blow himself up, and it saves us from having to do that. But that's okay. We got past that guy by shooting him in the feet, and then this guy will actually exploit the crouching animation to get rid of the end lag on that shotgun shell there. And then continue running through. Now there's some guys with rocket launchers here, but they have an element in their code where they won't shoot you if they're close enough to you to kill themselves too. So thankfully we are able to exploit that and skate right past them. Here is Leon's rocket launcher, which we need to go deliver to him now. So now we're going to need to finish the last sequence of the game, dealing with some enemies and some of Sadler's giant tentacles here.
Yeah, I noticed that you grew up playing Zelda games. Is that where you got your propensity for defeating big enemies with giant eyeballs from?
I guess you could say so. From there, actually, you saw me throwing a heavy grenade. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. He did not die from that grenade. He was supposed to. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, this hasn't happened to me in an extremely long time. Should be a good solution for that. Okay, yeah, thank you.
There we go.
So normally the way that's supposed to work is you throw a heavy grenade in a specific spot and it takes out the first wave of enemies, which then lets you shoot a rocket at Sadler's tentacle eyeball, which then will also take out some more enemies with that range of the explosion. And the rest of them should be up on the cliff with the cow person. So normally they're supposed to not drop down until we've already triggered the elevator switch, which makes it so they can't get on. But for some reason, my grenade did not kill that armored enemy, which allowed him to block the elevator doors, which stopped me just enough to get all the rest of the enemies spawned in and after me. So that is a good amount of fun there. Time will end right here on the results screen once you see the time pop up. And we got a 39. So that is not abysmal for having a couple RNG related mishaps there. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed getting to walk through one of my favorite speedruns to do with me, and now you all can enjoy this fabulous cutscene where Wesker is looking at our results screen. And Wesker will be in this tuxedo because I put Wesker in the tuxedo.
It's the turtleneck under the jacket.
It's so perfect. It's so perfect.
But yeah, well, we're enjoying that. GG's absolutely awesome run. Both of you, let everyone know who you are, where they can find you, and what you're currently playing.
What to do with you?
Variety, if you want to go first.
Sure. I am a variety pack, and I stream at the handle with the same name. I just did a Bioshock Infinite speedrun, so if you want to go revisit that run after the end of the show tonight, then you can see me take on another very intense FPS game.
Very, very cool. Yeah, Freddy's run was super great. Every time I see the end of Bioshock Infinite, it always kind of breaks my brain for a second. And I'm listening to what Variety's saying. I'm listening to what Booker and Elizabeth are saying. I'm like trying to remember what I know about the story. But for me, I am Phazon Tunic. You can find me streaming at Phazon Tunic, the Twitch channel with the same name. Mainly right now, I am speedrunning 3 Resident Evil games: Resident Evil 4 Remake, Resident Evil Requiem, and Resident Evil 5, in addition to Promise Mascot Agency. But I also do all sorts of other kinds of runs like Mario and Zelda and Pokemon challenges and fun stuff like that too. But I'm really grateful that that y'all asked me to come on here and showcase one of my absolutely favorite runs with you all. So yeah, thank you again so much, Asuka, and thank you again for coming, Variety.
Absolutely.
So we have a little bit extra time. I'm just going to ask the obvious question in the room here. 3 Resident Evils and Promise Mascot Agency, which I am very familiar with. How did you the jump between the two genres is fascinating to me. What brought you to Promise Mascot Agency?
So that's actually a very funny story. Abby told me about the existence of Promise Mascot Agency before the demo even launched. And so when the demo came out, Abby and I started running it immediately. And then the rest is just kind of history. I've been doing a lot of the side categories and shorter categories. So I believe Panda still has the any % record. But there's all sorts of other things you can do in that game because there's so many things you can do in that game. So like I run a category called All Foxes. I run a category called All Shrines, not to be confused with the Zelda game. And I also run a category called Agency Level 5, where we just try to get a ton of EXP as fast as humanly possible. And I always say about that run, you have to like segment your brain in half and focus one half on driving and the other half on like actually collecting EXP. It's really fun. I love that game. But funny enough, I actually found out about Resident Evil speedruns from Variety, because when this game was a lot younger, I think circa 2023, her and Stakaro were running it on PC, and I saw them do runs and thought, oh wow, this looks so much fun. Bought the game, played through it casually, instantly became one of my favorite games of all time, and then the rest was history from there.
I love that. Both stories, actually. And shout out to Abby's Corner, who, as soon as you said Abby's name, I'm like, yep.
A big shout out to Abby, yep.
Yeah, big shout out to both Faison and Variety for both of your runs tonight. That's been super fun. Before we go to... Hello, gamers, and welcome back to this awesome episode of Express Lane. And we are just going to jump right in, and we are going into the realm of Final Fantasy, which is, as I said just before we started, it's my favorite gaming franchise. I don't get to often show them off, but today we do. It's Final Fantasy XVI Final Fantasy Mode DLC Stage Replay with Akintune. So hello, friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. Final Fantasy XVI, possibly my favorite game of all time. It is the only game I have ever speedran too. We gotta give Torgal one more pet before I load the correct file. So this category is actually two levels. It is both the DLCs, the Rising Tide and the Sage Spire in the other order, played on Final Fantasy Mode, which is the game's hard mode. The differences in Final Fantasy Mode, they remix all the dungeon encounters to be harder. So there are more bosses. Enemies typically are upgraded a tier, although since this is the last two stages, there are no more tiers, but the level cap is also raised to 110. All of the enemies are souped up a ton. We get all new accessories that are more powerful and all new weapons. So it is a really fun category. I love it. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Moon?
Yeah, hi, I'm Moonblaze Wolf. I have run one of these DLCs in a couple events before. I ran the Rising Tide DLC at the GDQ Hurricane Relief event a couple of years ago. I am super excited to see Akintunde just absolutely demolish these DLCs. The one thing I will also add is this is the hardest content in the entire game. So this is going to be really impressive. And I would also just say Final Fantasy XVI is a really good game if you have not checked it out. No Time Like the Present, you are absolutely sleeping on a game that has a lot going for it, maybe uneven in certain ways, but it is a really good game and a really good Final Fantasy game. So
big time agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we'll count it down from 3 and we'll go ahead and jump into the first stage. All right. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck.
All right, good luck. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, so this first stage, so this is the Echoes of the Fallen DLC. This is kind of like the first DLC that they put out. Immediately, like the thing that just immediately jumps out to me when I'm watching runs of this game is between battles, you get to do this really cool movement tech. There's a lot of tools in your toolkit, so to speak. And then you kind of transition to combat, and yeah, I mean, you can just sort of see already how much damage we're doing here with Clive with the limit break and the abilities that we have equipped. So,
and a fun thing to note, damage scaling in this game is purely linear, so I'm actually only like 8% stronger than you would be if you were here normally.
Oh, wow.
So even though I'm max level, you're expected to be like level 100 here if you do, 2 complete playthroughs. So yeah, like this is relatively close to the experience you could actually have.
Yeah, and we're seeing a mix of, for some of these kind of like clusters of monster fights, we're seeing a mix of Leviathan icon abilities and Ultima icon abilities, which I've used these in my run. They are incredible at crowd control, and they also come, they come very, very fast, and they also recharge pretty quickly. So it's going to be a very good set of abilities to use for this type of showcase.
What you just saw there was the first instance of a glitch we discovered in this game called the Diamond Dust Cancel. In fact, discovered by yours truly. The way it works is, yeah, of course. The way it works is that for some reason Diamond Dust is considered a projectile, and when you cancel into Limit Break, time behaves a little strangely. Like it stops and then it restarts and then it slows down. It doesn't really matter exactly how it works, but it makes it so that the projectiles just hit more than they're intended to, up to 5 times if you time it well. It's one of those tricks that's really easy, but there are several degrees of how effective it'll be.
Yeah, another battle mechanic that we're seeing here is Akintunde is in Limit Break, which is the kind of like the fire bars. There's 4 of them underneath the health bar in the upper left corner. You can enter Limit Break at any point as long as you have a bar, and then you can also cancel it if you want to preserve for later in the battle. A lot of the equipment that Akintunde is using is specifically to boost damage during limit breaks. So one of the skills that you're going to see during this run is kind of control of that limit break bar and turning it on at strategic moments where we really want to dump damage on the enemies that we're fighting against.
Yeah, I totally can respect that given how damage spongy everyone's been so far.
And then Limit Break is also going to recharge as you deal damage, take damage, and then there's also potion items. One other thing that happened before this fight is presumably you have different ability sets for certain battles, or you have like a boss ability set and then a crowd control ability set. So you're going to be seeing that sometimes in the quick menus where we'll want to swap between the various preloaded ability sets depending on the fight that we're getting into.
Yeah. You're allowed to set up 5 ability sets, and then just like Moon said, they're kind of configured in that way. I have 2 for general encounters, 2 for boss encounters, and then 1 for a very specific encounter. Also, I guess we could discuss a little bit of movement. You've seen me do a lot of Ultima movement where I'm using the wing form in order to do a lot of lunges. That it is very fast. The only downside is there's an animation to get in of it and out of it, right? I mean, it is a Final Fantasy game, right? So everything's done up. The rule I follow is that if you need to use 3 lunges and you can jump cancel 1 and do a lunge in the air, we also use Rift Slip to cancel out of the first lunge, as you're going to see right now. But so long as you get at least 3 lunges in, it is worth the time versus other more traditional movement, such as the Phoenix dashes I've been doing. Odin will also come up soon, but we haven't had an opportunity to use that just yet.
Yeah, and another interesting thing that you get a lot of really like fine-tuned control over what it is that you want to use in your ability set. You can equip 3 icons, and that's where you get some of the movement and other kind of like character-based or icon-based abilities. But then as long as you have an ability mastered in the game, you can equip that to any icon. So you can have a mix of, like in this current setup, we've got Ultima, Phoenix, and Odin as the kind of like face icons that Akintunde is switching in between. But in the lower right, you'll see abilities from all of the icons in the game, depending on which ones he wants to have equipped. And you're going to get 6 that way, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get a lot of... you can get very creative with your loadout, is how I would say that.
Another Diamond Dust glitch. You see all that damage it did.
Oh, wow.
That is so cool, yeah.
Yeah,
You'll also notice sometimes with the stagger, the numbers will go red, like they did on that last stagger. That is because of a specific accessory that you get in New Game Plus mode. And I believe is that the revivement bit that does that?
It is the bombardment bit.
Bombardment bit, my bad.
So we also use the revivement bit, which increases your limit break damage bonus from 10% to 25%. And then we also use the Genji Glove +1, which just gives a nice flat 10% damage boost to everything.
When you see the numbers change from yellow to red, though, that means that Akintunde is kind of like broken out of like the traditional stagger multiplier that you would get in the normal game, and that is specifically due to that item.
So, a general question for both of you, because I know you've obviously both run DLC for this, and I know for Blaze, you also run a good chunk of longer speed runs. Like, what's it like doing like this type of shorter, very action-heavy category compared to like either the full run of 16 or other full like Final Fantasy speed runs?
Yeah, I'll just say like because I've run New Game, which is about an 8-hour run,
Cool.
7 if you're extremely good. And then I've done the Rising Tide DLC, which is closer to an hour, not when you're doing this mode here, that kind of, cuts down a lot of the stuff that happens between battles. Honestly, they're both really intense. I don't think I have run a game that is this focus heavy, especially for a long run. And 1 hour, I guess, to me, doesn't make a ton of difference as opposed to like an 8-hour run or 7-hour run, like the full game run. But I mean, this game is just a very, very challenging mechanically to optimize. It's definitely one of those games where the skill, like the floor is very low and then the skill ceiling is just off the charts exceptionally high. And that's one of the reasons why this is such a good showcase, is we are looking at one of the best players of this game for speedrunning. And I say that very, like, that is 100% true in my mind.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just to
knowing
flatter
Blaze,
you a little bit,
knowing Blaze, that is a 100% like true comment right there.
Oh, I can get him back.
Ooh,
your run that you mentioned earlier. Oh no. Your run that you mentioned earlier is actually the run that got me into speedrunning this game.
Aww.
I wonder if any.
Oh, that's really cool.
So I'm glad you could be here.
Yeah, I'm very glad. No, that's great. But yeah, I would be really curious because especially I would be curious to hear your thoughts on like the stage replay categories specifically, because I know that's sort of like your specialization, and just sort of like how that feels as a speedrun category, because I know you are just like super into these stage replay level categories. Yeah,
so I do have the full game Final Fantasy mode. It's called Gold Chalice, which is you're playing in hard mode, but you're starting at max level. So I have that category record, which is a clean 7.5 hours. The stage replay ones, I've really enjoyed optimizing these as much as possible. It is sort of an interesting take where you can, optimize your loadout so much because you're doing one specific thing and that's the only thing you need to worry about. And I also felt like, when I first got into doing the individual level runs, they had like a long way to go, in my opinion. For instance, like the first level of the game had like a 7-minute speedrun time. I'm getting turned around. 7.5 minutes, everyone's like, yeah, that's a really good run. You know, maybe you could beat it by like 30 seconds. And then I dropped it all the way to 5:29.
Oh, wow.
Now, a lot of that is due to the Diamond Dust glitch. It allows us, I mean, you've seen multiple times, it allows us to blow away enemies so quickly, right? And these are the tankiest enemies in the game, and some of them are getting one-shot by it.
Yeah. Yeah, you are just absolutely melting, like, stuff that, yeah, just is so spongy and tanky.
And actually, that kind of leads into a question that came up in chat. Specifically for the DLC replay run, how long would it take to normally set this up to like get all the items and the gear for you to be competitive at this? Because this is like the peak of Final Fantasy VI,
Yes.
like everything, or 16, excuse me.
Is this the part where you share how like your hours played in this game?
Oh no!
You need to beat the game twice. 100% completion, to be specific.
Ooh!
But that's actually really it. Because you need to get 2 copies of the Genji Glove, you need to get 2 copies of... Sorry, you need 3 copies of the Genji Glove, but in Final Fantasy mode you can actually buy one after you get all the quests done. So honestly, the setup for this, like if you've already played Final Fantasy XVI, if you want to run it on PC, I mean, you can just download a save file. That's what I would recommend. But like, if you've never played the game and you've been thinking of playing it, well, it's not as long as you would expect. Maybe a good 80 hours, you know, and that's also enjoying the game through on your first playthrough as well.
Yeah. Nicely done, by the way. That boss has some really cool battle mechanics. It reminds me a little bit of like an MMO FF14 style boss, doing that kind of like roulette wheel on the floor. Very cool fight. I like that one. I will share one anecdote about my experience doing the New Game Plus runs because it is a cautionary tale to any of you who own a PS5. I did not realize, so I upgraded my PS5 to a PS5 Pro last year, and I did not realize that cloud storage was a paid feature of the Sony ecosystem. So yeah, so I had my files that I had prepped for New Game Plus runs. That was probably like 200 hours of doing stuff for that. And guess what I got to do when I got my new PS5 Pro? Got to do it again.
No.
Beautiful. I mean, who would want to miss the experience a second time around?
Right.
I will say it went a lot faster the second time around because I didn't have to. Well, first of all, you can skip all the cutscenes. But second of all, I had a much better understanding of how to prep the files. One thing that's maybe a little bit different about how this current run is being done is since it's the stage replay, you can kind of just do it at any time. If you are doing like an in-game run for the DLCs specifically, it's a little bit weird in New Game Plus because you need stuff from the Rising Tide DLC to play the Echoes of the Fallen DLC, and vice versa. You definitely want equipment from the Echoes of the Fallen DLC for the Rising Tide DLC. So it's a little bit, you have to kind of cross over a little bit. In terms of doing it on New Game versus New Game Plus, I would recommend folks do it on the New Game Plus at the level cap if you don't want to do Final Fantasy mode, which is what we're seeing tonight, because it will basically just cap you and everything at those DLCs is around max level anyway. The benefit of doing a New Game Plus run, at least for Rising Tide, is there's like a 2-minute Leviathan tutorial that you just get to skip because you've already done it in normal New Game. And you get access to the Leviathan icon with all of the abilities right away too. So I don't know if Echoes of the Fallen, if there's anything like that, but that was my experience with Rising Tide, so...
Honestly, the Echoes of the Fallen run is mostly just this. There's not a whole lot of lead into it.
Yeah, this one is much more combat heavy. It also doesn't have an icon battle, which we're going to see kind of as like the finale for this whole thing, you're seeing a lot of like the sort of standard battle system. The final boss fight of this DLC is super cool, though. I can't wait to see
It
see
is
that.
my favorite.
It is very skill testing and very fun, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. That was incredibly quick. Oh my goodness.
That opening parry is crazy hard because you have to delay slightly. You know, I lunge in and then you swing. You have to delay just a little bit or you're too early, but if you delay too much, he just smacks you in the face.
Yeah, happy. I did not realize this until I had already turned in my old PS5 and was home with my PS5 Pro, unfortunately. This was like right before the price increase, and I was just like scrambling to upgrade it because I was like, if not now, then when? So, yeah.
Yeah, I missed the window, unfortunately, and I'm just like, oh, it's rough now.
It's around this guy. We didn't explain it. Abyssal Tear is an ability you have to charge, but if you dodge enemy attacks, it actually charges. It gives you a bit of charge every time you dodge an attack. So we like to whistle at enemies, you know, the greatest way to get unwanted attention, and have them try to attack us so that we can just skip ahead to level 4 charge as fast as possible.
I think another thing, maybe just to kind of talk about a little bit with this game, is how the RNG works. And not everything is like fixed, I will say, but you will have like openers for most fights will be the same, as long as you do the same thing every time. When you enter like a fight that's not a boss fight, enemies generally will be positioned in the same place, so that if you have kind of like a crowd control ability that you want to use, as long as you kind of like deploy it in the same way each time, you're going to get the same result. Phase changes tend to work kind of in the same way, but like there's a lot of stuff in between a lot of these things, especially in the boss fights, where you are kind of like reading and reacting to what the boss is doing.
Yeah. Fun fact, the first time I played this stage, which was on action mode, right, the game's normal mode, I was in the Omega boss fight for longer than it takes me to actually do the speedrun.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the only negative thing I have to say about this game is that it doesn't always encourage you to be aggressive, and it's so much more fun when you're aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very true.
Time for the big boy.
Yeah, you'll see some Final Fantasy favorites in this fight, as is fitting with the Omega weapon. One thing I didn't mention that's kind of cool about this DLC as a whole is I like to think of this as like the Final Fantasy VI themed DLC, because you're kind of going through there and it does have a little bit of the world building flavor of like the Magitech Research Factory specifically. But then we're going to see the second DLC after this, which is actually a little bit more Final Fantasy IV themed for reasons that you'll see or we'll talk about once we get in there. So this game is very referential in specific ways that are cool. It's one of the things I like about it. So.
This is my favorite track in the entire game. Unfortunately, Moon can't hear it.
Oh, it's okay. The music in this game is so good, though. It's got, honestly, like, it is incredible. It is one of the things that keeps me coming back, so. So we're through phase 1 here. Of course, things aren't done. We've got Clive, our main character, and Joshua and Jill kind of looking around. It's like the tower security system. This is sort of protecting everything. There's Torgal. Torgal's a little angry at the moment. So, moving on to phase 2.
This is where the fight gets serious. So I'm gonna let Moon do the heavy lifting.
Yep, no worries. There's going to be a lot going on in Phase 2. There's also items that we have access to at certain points. Probably the two main ones are strength tonics. Those are going to increase our damage, obviously, when we use them. The strength tonic is going to be
10% damage for 72 seconds.
Okay. And then we also have Lionheart tonics, which are going to help recharge our limit break bar naturally, or and also keep it going for longer if we're in limit break for an extended period of time. So
this combat arena is just so cool looking.
it is definitely a cinematic experience.
So this is the attack we want to see. It means I actually skipped all of Phase 2.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. These are Mega Flare dodges. These are going to basically charge up an ability that can be deployed for some extra damage here. Looks like that is happening. Got a proselytize in there. I think I saw a Diamond Dust there, and now a Wind Up.
Oh, that was a Mesmerize. Diamond Dust
Mesmerize.
Coming, though.
Okay.
This is actually going to be the one fight where we use Diamond Dust specifically to increase stagger damage instead of inflicting stagger. Boom.
There's a nice stagger. Wow. Stagger is that yellow bar under the main health bar for the boss, and when an enemy is in staggered, that's when you get that multiplier that we've seen. And then obviously it's not doing anything, so we can really pour the damage on. Some bosses do have like soft caps that you can hit while you're in stagger. I'm not sure if that is something you've had to route around, or if it doesn't really come up too much in these DLCs, but you have to be careful sometimes when you stagger an enemy, because if you stagger when you're too close to that threshold, we call that a dummy stagger, and you're going to just sort of sit there wasting your time, because the game does not let you get the HP value lower than what that threshold is.
Yeah.
Because it needs to do cool stuff like this, like a cool cinematic. So.
Of course.
Yeah. And right there, too, we actually skipped almost all of Phase 3, because if you've noticed, most of my staggers have been doing, 200 to 300,000 damage. That one did close to 600,000 using the Diamond Dust offensively in that way. Just because it built the stagger multiplier instantly from, 1 times or 1.05 times to 2 times. We're going to do another Diamond Dust here. But yeah, at this point, this fight's effectively over. Shoot him a few times. Yep.
There you go.
Nice.
Thank you.
That is a whole DLC.
Wow. Just under 25 minutes for one whole DLC. Jeez.
I love the 59.59 estimate, by the way. Very nicely done.
You can. That's actually an inside joke that I love when people bring it up. That is courtesy of our wonderful producer Richard. When we started doing Express Lane, I had my first actual hour-long estimate. He changed it to 59.59. Didn't tell me, and during that run, I don't remember which one it was, I lost my mind when I saw that. I was laughing so hard. So now it's a permanent staple in Express Lane.
That's so great. All right, so now we're headed into the Heir of Hours, which is the Rising Tide DLC showcase. This one is going to have a lot more movement in between the battles as well. It's definitely a bit more spread out. So you're really going to be able to see more of the really cool movement tech in this run. You're also going to be able to see Tonberries, because this is the DLC that has the Tonberries in it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, those things aren't there in the normal run. the twin slimes here.
They did troll me a little bit, unfortunately. You want to target one, and you want the other one to become aggressive on you and jump to you. This stage, I reset at the beginning maybe half the time because they just don't play along. And they did not play along this time either. In fact, in all of my practice runs, they only played along one time.
That sounds about right.
Again, I just have to highlight the movement tech because I know a lot of people don't think of movement tech in Final Fantasy games, but I mean, we were switching between 3 different movement abilities there just to sort of optimize based on the terrain that we were on, and like, it is a lot to manage, and it's just it is honestly one of the most satisfying things about doing this run is like the movement. It feels so good when you do it right. So there's a super quick stagger here. This is our first kind of like master Tonberry, and then yeah, get him into stagger, just dump all of those super high damage abilities, and boom, that fight's already over.
Yeah. You did mention routing around staggers. There is only... So the Timekeeper is routed around staggers just because he has so many phases that have those HP gates that are very annoying. And then Sigma from the first sort of actual boss I fought, he is stagger routed so that he uses his fulmination ability before he staggers, because that will also, he can't die until that's done, and you can do enough damage that if you quick staggered him, he might actually be basically dead.
Okay. Looks like you're able to still despawn the enemies that you just ran by in that plaza before you got to this boss fight too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. That is another thing that you can do in some of these fights, is just you don't have to do them. As long as your movement is tight and you're able to kind of get past them before they can follow you too far.
Just shoot him gently.
Another really cool thing that you learn running this game a lot, and I just noticed it a lot in these last couple boss fights, is you really need to know the arena, because you want to position your character close to the exit of the arena if at all possible. And both of these last 2 fights, Akintunde has basically set up camp like right by where the exit is, so that once the fight is done, you can just immediately move on, and it's great to see. Oh, we've got the big lizard.
The big old swamp
This is
puppy.
also a fight you stagger, or route around staggering.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Oh, wow.
Burning
actually
Blade
worked.
parry on the spin.
Ooh.
Love it. That was so good. That is very hard to do. That is a very tight timing window. Nicely done.
Oh,
Thank you.
I was like, I'm just gonna take a nap now.
Yep. Definitely.
I
nap
technically
time.
brought the long road out into that, but we make it work. We make it work. It was,
Yeah.
So many stairs in this DLC. There's a
Yes.
lot more stairs. I'm remembering now.
Yeah. Thankfully, moving up before the DLC kind of sucked, right? Moving up slopes.
Yeah.
But Ultima is like specially designed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
When he realized my ancestors were attempting to cast a spell from here, he made to destroy.
It's so
the
flashy too. So we're gonna have a couple of group up fights here. These ones are always a little bit of a pain. They were for me. those frost bombs especially just have a lot more HP than you would expect.
We kill him quick. Shoot him in the face a few times. Run over here.
Always a solid strategy.
And then we have, another combat gauntlet where we get to show off another really cool trick discovered by another runner. We'll explain it in a moment when it actually comes up. Unfortunately, this mob, even though you're going to see me running away, they won't de-aggro. So I'm going to put some trust into my allies that they're going to do something. It is a bad decision, to be clear. Ow.
Yeah, Jill and Joshua do not generally do what you want them to do. But.
So we shove that little vent in him, which causes all of the projectiles to hit him.
Oh my goodness.
So normally you would think a move like that would shoot a certain number of projectiles, but it actually doesn't. It shoots a specific number of projectiles for every single enemy.
Oh, jeez.
So by, positioning it inside that enemy, we can actually cause it to just do a crazy amount of damage, right? And that's also why we aggro that first mob, so that they're in range of us triggering Abyssal Tear on them as well, because if they're too far away, it won't happen. I'm actually going to swap an accessory here, because I'm not going to be staggering the Timekeeper much, or hopefully at all, but we'll see how it goes.
Now, something that was mentioned before we did the run, and just with you swapping accessories made me think of that. Chat, I don't know if y'all noticed what weapon that Clive is currently using. We call that a Buster Sword. Is that like the ultimate weapon in this game, or is this you're flexing?
It's actually just a weapon skin. Okay. It's just a weapon skin. It's actually a terrible weapon.
Nice.
It was like a little bonus they added in for the Echoes of the Fallen DLC. I need this kitty cat to behave. He is not going to behave.
Cat's not behaving? What?
Now he's going to behave. So I'm gonna make him shoot this lightning rod a bunch and kill his buddy for him. One of my favorite tricks, literally never works when I'm doing this. I also, in my opinion, that is the hardest fight in the entire DLC. They do not behave ever. It's pretty terrible fighting them.
I wouldn't have known unless you said something, but yeah.
Yeah.
Now this fight is interesting. This is a really difficult kind of standard encounter with the Timekeeper here. The first phase here really rewards good parries and dodges, but as the fight goes along, he starts to do a lot more like attacks from range. There's a lot of different timings to the attacks. He will use little projectiles, so use that big hammer. There's just a lot going on with this boss, in addition to the phases. So that was the end of phase 1. So now we're getting a little in-engine cinematic here.
Yeah, this is a fun fight. It can go... this whole DLC has a fair bit of RNG that can be painful, And even in this run we saw, like, the first 2 little Flan enemies, they just refused to cooperate with me. It worked out well enough. The Curl is supposed to get up from the stagger and immediately use Blaster. And you want that because it'll cause the Flan to jump at you, and you set the lightning rod right in front of them, and the curl will kill both of them for you. Normally when you fight duo bosses, they have like slightly reduced HP, but for some reason that guy doesn't. I would have liked to have hit a parry there, but unfortunately I did not. Uh-oh.
You're really good at getting into that the stance for those mega flare dodges with Bahamut. Just to be able to charge that up, like from a speedrunning perspective, it's going to give you a lot of passive damage. So anytime that you have a situation where you can use that as opposed to a normal dodge, it's fairly advantageous to do so.
Yeah, the chaining the mega flare dodges like that is also one of my favorite things in this speedrun. He is really not behaving. This is also another thing that'll happen in these runs. Because I missed that parry, my damage is way off. Because parrying gives you 25% damage bonus. It increases your stagger damage by 50%. But the most important thing it does is it actually increases the rate at which your abilities recover. It triples it. Ow.
Yeah, so you miss an important parry, and suddenly you're way off on your cooldowns. Stuff is not ready when you expect it to be, and if you don't have the experience of like how do I deal with that, you can definitely get into situations where you get very uncomfortable pretty quickly. So
reload my gun. Hopefully he does not immediately go into his big move. Perfect. This should work out just fine. We really want to avoid letting him go into... I'm surprised he actually hit me with that. I'm just going to cancel out.
This boss is a really good example of something you were talking about a little while ago, which is where the game is really trying to get you to play defensive in this fight. It really wants to reward you for parrying and dodging, and speedrunning, we do not want to spend time doing that unless it's advantageous for us to do so, or we don't have any other option. So being able to fight that boss as aggressively as you did is honestly pretty incredible. So, I mean, it's a really hard thing to learn because the game is actively working against you fighting that boss in that way. Is kind of what I'm trying to say.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. You know, it wants you to watch all the fun cinematics and see him spam his Shiva abilities, but we don't like that. And that went all right. Getting all the parries on there is pretty hard. Anytime you have to do a parry from a lunge instead of like a burning blade, it's just so much less reliable.
Yeah, of course, talking about parries, there's somebody in chat that said, I did not parry enough in my playthrough of this game.
Most people probably don't parry at all until they get Odin, and at which point they just parry by accident because it's so easy to parry with Odin.
That's fair.
But of course, we can't afford to run Odin. You know, we really... For bosses, we really want Bahamut, we really want Leviathan. You only want to bring Odin if you're actually going to use Zantetsuken, because you can use, what are other ones? You know, use Phoenix to close the distance. You can use Shiva to, she has a special dodge that freezes everything on screen. That's a really nice one to bring, so it's just like... Also, Odin without Zan is pathetically weak. So,
Yeah.
you don't want to be
Fair.
stuck into swinging your sword as Odin. We're entering the last fight of the run, by the way. So, you're in for a doozy.
Now, that being said, this is a very long fight, so
I was about to say, as soon as you said that, I looked at the clock, I'm like, we are basically at 41 minutes here.
yeah.
This fight is half the stage.
Oh, God. All right.
So
He has
the thing
6
I
phases.
love,
Oh, that's all.
hopefully you can get out of phase 1 a little early here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this the reason I love the Rising Tide DLC is a perfect encapsulation of everything that this game has to offer. You have the really cool movement. You have some amazing boss fights that we saw, and now we get to cap it all off with an icon battle with Leviathan, which the icon battles, for better or for worse, really are like the cornerstone of the Final Fantasy XVI experience. So we're basically a kaiju fighting another kaiju, and this is the hardest kaiju in the entire game, and it's not even particularly close. I died
by a
so many
mile.
times to this fight when I was playing the DLC casually, because all of the stuff that you thought you could do from the earlier icon fights in this game, you basically can't do to this boss, and it challenges you in a lot of ways that you're probably not prepared for until you learn this specific fight. So this phase 1 is interesting because we're really trying to rush on the damage and not miss any opportunity that we can to get damage on Leviathan, because if we can get the damage if we can out damage his ability Grand Cross, we'll skip that entirely. And the best way to do that here is what Akentund is doing, which is those precision dodges and counters, because that is basically free damage right there, and then the charge shots whenever we can fit them in. So, and we really want to skip Grand Cross because it's a very slow animation. Probably like 30. I haven't done it in a while, but it's probably like 30 to 40 seconds, I want to say.
Yeah.
You're just kind of sitting there waiting for the boss to do something, and if we can avoid that, then obviously saves the time. So
Yeah.
That's fair.
Unfortunately, I missed a counter there, so I do actually have to take the Brimstone early. I would have preferred to save that for the stagger, but if I didn't stagger him in time and he ran away, I would have had to deal with a Grand Fall, yeah.
or Grand Fall, yeah, sorry, it's a Grand Cross.
And yeah, like Moon said, the most important thing for Ifrit is the counters. The counter into the precision backdraft, which is the little magic burst you do afterwards, does about 80% of the damage as a full combo will do. And it does more stagger damage than a full combo will do. So you get... It is like the cornerstone of this fight to phase skip. Because to skip Grand Fall, you do need to get that half stagger before he leaves for the first time. And then you want to get the full stagger at the end when he comes back. You get a lot of that by timing your charge shots to make sure you're hitting him as he's moving his head. Because they have some tracking, but not a ton. But that was a pretty good phase 1.
Yeah.
I don't think missing or having to use the Brimstone outside of stagger is going to make any real difference to the fight, thankfully. The advantage to using it in a stagger is once you're at like the 1.5 or 1.3, 1.35 times multiplier, it does so much damage. You can get like an 8.5 million, almost 9 million damage stagger.
Oh, wow.
And this guy has 65 million health, so we would like those.
Yeah, that would come in handy right about now.
And then another big bonus we get from these abilities is they actually cause a half stagger on Leviathan. So you do get a little damage bonus that you normally would.
Yeah, another really cool thing that we saw there. It'll probably come up again. It'll come up again later in a later phase. If you can stay airborne with Ifrit, you can actually get your chains to last a little bit longer with those basic attacks. And when we're kind of in between abilities, at least in sort of like the hand-to-hand combat mode, that is really kind of like our only source of damage. So being able to get airborne and do a couple extra hits does add up over the course of this fight.
Getting that half stagger before he left for the first time is really important. It skips one of the 2 breaches that's supposed to be guaranteed.
Yeah.
Which saves us good time. I'm focusing my hardest.
No, you're doing great so far. Keep it up.
Getting the full stagger there would have been preferable, but I'm going to get it right here, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the timings with the staggers in this fight is you don't want to miss out on an opportunity to get a stagger in between the cinematics because your abilities will recharge during those cinematics. Okay. So you definitely like ideally want to end a phase with a stagger so that your abilities can kind of recharge during the time in between. Like we're going to see another one here in just a second. And then you're all ready to go again for the next phase. So
sorry to everyone who's played this game. I am about to give you PTSD. This song. I want to say I died 10 times to this phase.
Oh yeah, this is the phase.
First placed it. Yeah,
this is the phase that absolutely murdered me when I was first doing it, because you kind of get taught that like these purple bars are a little bit of, I would say, like a formality almost. This one will actually just kill you and game over you if you don't deplete it, and it is quite beefy. So yeah, we're seeing the use of the abilities here, the magic bursts, and then again those airborne attacks, because you get the extra you get those extra swings when you're airborne doing your chaining your normal attacks together. So. And you are going to get pushed back at least once during this phase. Yes. I think if you do everything exactly right, you can finish it on the second.
Yes.
Kind of like the second trip up to the sphere. But it is definitely hard to do. So
yeah,
it really
you basically
requires
have
a lot of focus.
More focus than that.
Sorry about that.
You're good. I should have ran to the side a little bit.
But again, it's like you're trying to play aggressive, and it's it's tough to do. So.
And for those that don't know, what happens if you get defeated in any one of these phases? Do you go back to the first phase, or do you redo this one?
After this phase is the last checkpoint of the fight. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the boss fights are checkpointed, so you don't go all the way back to the beginning. You'll go back to whatever the checkpoint is. This one is a little bit unfair with the checkpoints as well, I will say, which is another change from some of what you experienced earlier on in the game, where it feels a lot more generous. All right, so we're gonna finish this up here. Just a little bit of purple left. Nice and safe.
Yeah.
Game does give you some healing items as well if you need them for this fight. Yeah, we're out of that phase now. The kind of can get back to doing damage to the actual boss. And it puts it in a stagger immediately. So
one of my favorite things to do was to actually go and map down like all of the counters, like the optimal punishes for everything in this fight. Because we figured out we were actually leaving a lot of damage on the table. Just knowing how many attacks you can squeeze in, how many charged magics you can squeeze in.
Yeah. I think for me, I got a lot better at this fight from a speedrun perspective when I realized just how much charged magic you can throw at this thing. Because it really, like, you have almost no downtime at that point, and there's definitely spots where he is not in melee range, so anything you can do to, like, again, it all adds up over the course of the fight. So doing a lot of these charged shots, especially like when the boss is either approaching you or flying away from you or has just emerged from the water, that does, like I said, really add up over the course of the fight. So
And for those that might not have been here for the start of this run, as a reminder, a runner's playing this on Final Fantasy difficulty, aka the hardest difficulty. So
Yes, ma'am.
I see so many people going like, "Oh, this fight!" It's just like it was such an incredible feeling after they finally won. Yeah, this is just going to the extreme and then some.
Yeah. Yeah, this is incredibly impressive to watch. It's almost like it's almost like watching someone who's really good at like a fighting game or like a beat 'em up, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Or you know, a really combat heavy game like a Devil May Cry or something like that. Just so impressive to see high level gameplay like this.
I love the combat in this game. With this DLC, they added a thing called Kairos Gate, which is a little roguelite mode where you actually get points, and it's based off of your score and not necessarily your speed. So it encourages you to play cool. That is a category I'm looking to get into. Because I'm a masochist, I want to do the all S ranks, which unlocks the secret final boss.
Oh, jeez.
And it's cool. Unfortunately, it is not a marathon safe run, because if you die at any point, it is just game over. And if you don't get an S rank on one stage, well, I mean, you can still finish the Kairos Gate, but you can't get the final boss.
Oh, jeez.
Really good job with those charge shots there after you sort of got around the whirlpool. This is sort of like the berserk mode, I will say. Really kind of just the end here. But yeah, you can still get up there and do a little bit of damage. Those dodges are very tricky to time correctly. And I'm curious if you're gonna do not this one, the next one. There's something I kind of figured out about the very end of this fight that I was pretty proud of right before I was doing a couple marathon runs, but he's kind of just going through his cycle here of some of these abilities. Yep, so you can get out of the way of the beam and you can get around, and I actually found that you can use the Bahamut ability there, Spitfire, and it'll lock onto him for whatever reason. Yeah. Which is nice, so. But anyway, I think this is pretty much it, so.
Yeah, we've just come into a cutscene now. It is a good 2 minutes. I actually routed the Spitflare out of this fight to save 3 seconds.
All right.
So there is one fewer than you would do in a typical run.
Well, you are like I said, you are absolutely the master at this point. This is so impressive to see and very, very cool. I'm glad you got a chance to show this off.
Yeah.
I hope everybody enjoys the last little bit of eye candy here as things wrap up here.
Just so you guys know, Leviathan is a baby, so we've been beating up a baby this entire time. However that makes you feel. I mean, he's a bad baby, I guess.
I like how you wait till this is the last little bit of cutscene. Oh, by the way,
this is a child.
It's a child.
It's basically a temper tantrum.
Yep, basically.
Well, clearly, Leviathan hasn't grown into its water is super effective against fire Pokemon template yet, so.
Yeah. I also like when this cutscene begins, Leviathan is trying to use Tsunami, and Clive says, "Not again," which doesn't really make sense because he hasn't used it yet. It almost feels like a tongue-in-cheek nod to the fact that they're like, "We know you died during press the attack, and if you fail that, he does use Tsunami on you and instantly kills you." And time.
GG's.
Yes, thank you for having me on. This was a really fun experience and a really fun stage. I love this game. Thank you for joining me. You've been a fantastic commentator.
Oh, this was so great to see. I'm really glad you got to show this off too. I think this game just needs a lot more love and attention, and I honestly, you're one of the best people in our community to showcase it like this. So props to you. Incredibly well done. Very cool showcase tonight.
And as always, to both of you, give your shout outs, who you are, where can they find you, what are you currently playing, what are you currently working on speedrun wise?
Sure. I've got a few shout outs. Of course, I've got to thank my lovely wife for humoring me in this endeavor, because I am like an old man now. Thankfully, I chroma keyed out my gray hair, so you can't tell.
You didn't teach me how to do that.
Of course, I need to thank, you, Asuka, for letting me on. I've been, this is a great experience. I'm really glad I could do this. The Final Fantasy XVI speedrunning Discord, they helped me, with a lot of this. Of course, Moon, both for encouraging or, really kind of inspiring me to do this game. And this is the only thing I speedrun. And then I do have a friend. She's really short, and she would always remind you to stay hydrated and get hydrated. So very good. There's only like 4 people in chat that are going to laugh at that, but they're going to love it. I stream sometimes on Twitch at Akintuned. I play Final Fantasy XVI, and I play Elden Ring Night Rain. That's about it for me. What about you, Moo?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to also give a shout out to the FF16 community, in particular, the Sid and Rainbow Unicorn Phoenix, who are 2 fellow runners who I just really enjoy kind of theory crafting and sharing this game with. I also just want to give a quick shout out to a member of the Final Fantasy IX community, or I guess I shouldn't shout out them specifically, but we had a death in the Final Fantasy IX community in the last few days. An incredible runner named The Brutals unfortunately passed away from cancer earlier this week, and I know it is something that is affecting a lot of people in the Final Fantasy speedrunning community. Very accomplished Final Fantasy IX runner, incredible member of the community, one of those sort of pillar people that is unfortunately just kind of was taken far too early. And so I just want to, while we're doing a Final Fantasy run, I know it's not this game, but I mean, it is on a lot of people's minds. So I just want to give a quick, condolences and, just appreciation for somebody who was an incredible Final Fantasy speedrunner that a lot of people are thinking about these days. So shout outs to the Brutals.
Green shout outs to the Brutals. Hearts in chat. But yeah, it's again, thank you both for an absolutely wonderful showcase of Final Fantasy 16. That was wild to watch. So impressive. For everybody in chat, keep the GGs coming. Listen to what Akintuned said. Hydrate. Hello, gamers, and welcome back to this episode of Express Lane. Hope you are staying hydrated and don't blink, because we have a super speedy, super awesome run coming up next, and it is Super Mario World 11 Exit Warp with Prez. So hello, friend. How are you?
I am doing well. Again, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to run this game again. I haven't ran this for GDQ in I think about a year, so it's nice to kind of bring it back. And for everybody who is here, what's good? I am Prez, also known as the President Noir. Feel free to call me Prez or Noir or Mr. President, whatever title you want to give me. All are applicable. This is Super Mario World 11 Exit. You may also notice that it says orb. Can I get some orbs in chat? If you've never seen this run, allow me to explain that some very interesting things are going to happen. We're going to be doing what's called the orb glitch. And when we attempt the orb glitch, one of 3 things is going to happen. Either we will get the orb, we won't get the orb, or we will blow a rift through the space-time continuum. One of the 3 things will happen. Preferably number 1. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. That being stated, if I do in fact crash the system, we're gonna give it another go. I would really love to get this trick for y'all tonight. So we're gonna try to make it happen. Are we ready to go?
We are definitely ready. I might be curious about this breaking this space-time continuum, but I would prefer to for you to also get the orb.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. Time actually starts when I get control of Mario. So 3, 2, 1, start.
Good luck.
Thank you. Alrighty, so first things first, we've got to go get Yoshi. Now, many of you may have seen me on GDQ before. You've probably seen me in my Yoshi shenanigans. I'm going to make a deal with everybody, all right? If we get the orb, no Yoshis will be harmed tonight, all right? Yoshi's fate is in the hands of the orb.
Oh, boy.
All right, first thing we got to do is jump over these fruit because Yoshi will eat every single thing in sight. And in order to prevent that from happening, Yoshi has to be occupied. So we're going to keep this shell just kind of right there in Yoshi's mouth for the duration of this level. This is pretty straightforward, just running. You get a jump over here and then use the shell to kill that charging Chuck. And level 1 is done just like that. You were told that this would be a very fast run, and there were no lies told. This goes very quickly. All right, so after Yoshi's Island 2 is Yoshi's Island 1, because that is how math works. We are going to grab this Koopa right here, and then note how Yoshi was able to eat that fire flower, but Mario got the power up. That's very key to the whole orb glitch situation, so be on the lookout for that. Missed that jump, that is okay. Not a big deal. We're just going to keep moving forward. Duck right here. Take this very precautiously. All right, so the orb glitch is coming up. I will explain it after the fact. So let's see. All right, so we did not get the orb, but we didn't crash the system, which is preferable when we fail. So we're going to make another attempt. I'm going to take a pit on purpose here, and the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to go and grab another Yoshi. Now, luckily for this run, this trick happens right at the very beginning, so it is not time consuming at all to go and give this another attempt. So grab everything we need, and then let's try that again.
I love there's a comment from chat about mentioning poor Yoshi. He's Yoshi murdered. And someone's like, but what if, hear me out, Yoshi came to harm anyway.
Listen, Yoshi is an eldritch beast, Loki. Like, anytime you see Yoshi get like put into a pit or something, they just come back in an egg. Like, it's perfectly fine. Yoshi is okay. Don't worry about it. All right, let's try that again. All right. You said I got time, right? Let's
yeah, you got time.
Let's try that one more time. Okay, so every time I've run this, every single time I've run this for GDQ, we have crashed the system. This is the first time that we haven't crashed the system, and so I feel confident. I feel like tonight might be the night. The thing about the orb glitch too is that you can actually do like everything right and still not get it. So there is an RNG element to it, but there are some consistent setups, which is what we're trying to do. I guess I can explain that since we're running back to it. So what happens is you are trying to turn an enemy into a coin. And when you turn the enemy into the coin, at the exact same time, you want Mario to collect that coin, but Yoshi to also be trying to eat that coin. And when you do that, the coin is no longer there, and Yoshi's like, well, I'm leaving with something. So Yoshi decides to turn it into a charging Chuck instead of a coin, and the game doesn't really know what to do with that. So there we go. We got it. Oh, yeah. Thank God. All right. So you may notice at the top of the screen, there is what looks like a separated Koopa head. And I promise you, this is not the result of like a 2000s creepypasta level ROM hack. This is the 1990 as Shigeru Miyamoto intended it to be Super Mario World straight out of Walmart. So what happens is the game basically looks for the next thing that it can give you since it's no longer giving you a coin. And it just so happens that what is in memory next is the sunken ship orb from way later on in the game. And if you don't know what that does, that's perfectly fine. As long as we don't lose the orb, I'm okay. If you don't know what that does, that allows you to complete the level instantaneously. So basically what we're going to do is use that to complete the castle within 10 seconds.
Oh.
I think I got so excited from actually getting the orb. Just completely forgot the jumps in this stage. Oh man. But yes, this is in fact historic for me. Very first time we got the orb glitch correct on GDQ. So shout outs to y'all for being here.
And it didn't crash.
It did not crash. It did not crash. I'm so proud of this game because you have no idea how many times I looked at corrupted pixels while practicing today. I was like, yeah, today is the day, huh?
Nice.
All right. Let's get through here real quick. We do have to be a little careful because there are spikes everywhere, but just a few jumps and we should be golden. All right, so what did we go through all this trouble for to get this orb? It is to save all the time that I wasted doing it 3 times in a row. So at the end of the day, it evens out. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Can I get orbs in the chat as we complete this in 3, 2, 1? Orbs in chat, please.
What?
Thank you so much.
What? Oh, I love that.
Also, Mario decides to flex on you real quick. He throws up the peace sign. He's definitely in mid-air. Don't ask how he's floating. He just, hey, listen, everybody's got superpowers here. All right, speaking of flying, we are on part 2 of this run, where now everything is basically flying and swimming for the most part. So if you've never played this game, flying is not intuitive at all. What you have to do is gain up enough speed, and once you start doing that, you have to pull back. It's more of a glide than it is flying, honestly. But even if you play this casually, learning how to fly is kind of fundamental because there's so many stages that you basically just get to skip the entirety of by flying. And after you do it for a while, you kind of get the rhythm. That's how I can know I'm completely off screen, but I know exactly when to press the button. Usually you follow the animation, but it's fine. All right, so here, this is my least favorite stage in the entire game, mostly because I have real life beef with these fish. Not all of them, but this one right here, the sleeping one. I want you to know something. That fish I just killed, completely unnecessary. Didn't have to do it, but I did it for the love of the game, just because he was sitting there and he wasn't doing his job.
So many people have that one enemy in that one game. It's like, no, you don't survive this.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. I will sacrifice all the frames, all the seconds, just to make sure that one does not live. All right, so we're gonna swim under here, and then we gotta dodge one more of these. I'll be extra safe. Grab this key. And we have taken our second secret exit. It's pretty much secret exits from here on out directly to the last boss. All right, so this is the donut secret house, or the donut ghost house, as my friends like to call it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to have commentary today. My friend was not feeling well. She's actually recovering now, but shout out to Asset High for renaming this entire stage.
Nice.
All right, so here we are going to take yet another secret exit that's not entirely intuitive to know that it's there. We're going to fly. Oh, I didn't get enough speed. Let's try that again. There we go. And let's go fight Boo. Everybody in chat say hi to Boo. So Boo thinks that you can't see him. Unfortunately, he's in a game from 1990 and transparency is not really a strong suit, so we can see exactly where he's going. Just line up with this windowsill, and then right here at this little banister, you just wait for him to come here, drop another one up, and that is the secret boss. Even though I took a hit I wasn't supposed to, and that's okay, because you can go get another cape real quick. Anyway, that level is done.
That was cool.
Thank you. There's actually another cape right in Star World 1. So we will grab that after we do the initial exit. That should save us a little time. All All right, so this stage right here, you have to have at least the mushroom in order to get past these blocks. If you have a cape, there's a trick that you can do that saves like maybe 7 seconds if you do it correctly, or it can burn you for like 30 if you have to like die and then get another cape. So it's not entirely like a time loss here since I have to go get the extra cape anyway, but we took the secret exit. Now we're gonna go to the left because there's actually a cape over here. And the reason I didn't come get this cape at first is because it is nigh impossible to climb back up once you started to go down, and we would not have made it over to that other side.
Gotcha.
All right. Now, this is the easiest level in the entire scenario. Your only job here is to make sure that Blue Yoshi does not eat enough fish to become Big Yoshi. And given Yoshi's biblical level of gluttony, it is kind of difficult. You do have to like make sure that Yoshi does not get a hold of too many fish, but it's not too difficult. Just make sure that you fly around. Now, normally, this is where we say goodbye to Yoshi. We normally just chuck him into the abyss. But hey, we got the orb, and I promised, so we're gonna take Yoshi with us straight through the keyhole. All right, Star World 3. We have to try to very quickly get rid of that, and we did. And we will take this yellow Yoshi with us as well. The first time I ran this game at PAX East, there was a kid who pleaded for me to save the yellow Yoshi, and that has stuck with me throughout the years. So we always make sure we at least save the yellow Yoshi. All right.
That one paid its taxes. It's exempt.
All right, now this is going to be the most difficult. I actually had to figure out how to do this properly to save this red Yoshi. You can actually fly with Yoshi in your hands, and you have to like grab him while you're running in order for it to happen. The problem is now the animation is a little different than normal flying, so you have to like know exactly what to do. But we got it.
Nice.
All right, and I hope that everybody has enjoyed Star World, because we are out of here and we are actually on to the last boss. Best track in the game, by the way. Sorry, you only hear it for like 3 seconds, but it's amazing.
Those 3 seconds, man.
Those 3 seconds. Oh, listen, I almost got out of my seat. All right, so you come to room number 2. And you just hop over here, hop over this fence. These are the absolute easiest rooms to go through. There are plenty of other rooms, and you'll see other strats. I suggest, if you want to run this game, follow my lead. All right, number 5. Now, you look on the left side of this big spike. There are big, like smaller but big spikes on the left side. You count up 1, 2, 3, and as the third one comes up, you just run across. And duck a little bit if you're not going to make it, and you're good to go.
Well, that's clean.
We're gonna turn on the light so everybody can see. And then we are almost at the last boss. Chuck you over here. Missed you for your friends, but that's fine. We'll just float over here. All right, and now we are at the back door to the most infamous boss in all of Super Mario history. Everybody say hello to Clown Face Propeller Man. If you've never seen this boss, very well known in Super Mario. I'm kidding, it's Bowser. So the first thing Bowser tries to do is give you a haircut with this parabola type formation. He doesn't realize that you're 4'11", so he can't quite get you there. So then he starts to send his minions off, and you just send these minions in the air right back at him. And he gets upset about that. So rather than continue to fight you, he goes off somewhere else in his castle to flip a switch that sends fire down from the ceiling. Now, my question is, why wasn't that switch installed in this propeller suit? Seems like that would be a little more convenient, but hey, I am not the engineer here. And then, hey, look, it's Princess Peach. We don't need that. So now, rather than trying to give you a haircut, he decides to procure cannonballs. And my question throughout the years of this game is, where do these come from? Because these cannonballs are the size of the machine that he's in. Not 1, but 2. Also, where's Peach? Where's Peach? Maybe questions better left unanswered. But after those 2, he decides to send his minions back out at you, which, it's fine. We'll just send out. We will miss that, but that actually will work out in a minute. He'll send 2 more cannonballs off, but then he'll send 2 more minions, and we'll save the other minion to get an early hit on the last phase. So kind of works out even if you don't intend to. All right, so
Bowser's bag of holding from chat. Yeah. Yeah. Do that.
All right, so here's minions. Okay, I guess tonight,
Bowser.
since I got the orb, I am not allowed to hit Bowser's sweet spot. That's fine. All right, so more fire from above. You kind of just stand. If you either stand right in the middle of them, or if you have space, just walk, and you're good to go. Now he's realized, okay, nothing I'm doing is working. I'm just gonna have a plumber pancake. He just tries to smash you up, and you just avoid this a little bit. There's 1, and there's 2. Time is when Peach appears in 3, 2, 1. Time. That's it.
GG's.
That is 11 exit orb. Man,
Oh, I love it. And perfectly timed. We had a redemption of orbs of 500,000
Nice.
challenge points.
Everybody, can I get orbs in chat, please, for the redemption?
Yes.
Definitely appreciate that. Real quick, again, I want to say thank you for allowing me to come on again and showcase this game. This is the first speed run that I ever learned, and so it's always nice to revisit this. And this is, I think, probably my 4th time being able to do this for any GDQ stage. So very happy about that. If you thought that was cool, chat. First of all, you're cool, not me. You're cool. But secondly, I have something even cooler for you in store. Black in the Flash is going to be presenting Juneteenth on GDQ Hotfix from June 18th through the 21st. Please come and help me celebrate a plethora of Black speed running talent. I am literally on the shoulders of giants amongst all the people who are going to be in that event. I do have the pleasure of helping close the show out. You'll see me on the very last day, first doing a co-op run of Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and then the very last run on the 21st will be me doing a speed run of a rhythm game called Melatonin. And I won't just be playing the game. I've actually hooked up my drum pad to my PC and routed it in a way in which I can play the game that way. So if you want to see a cool showcase of the hardest songs on that game, I would love for y'all to be there. Other than that, again, I'm Prez. You can find me on social media at President Noir. If you happen to be into Magic the Gathering, look up Prez Play Games. I talk a lot about Magic the Gathering over there. Other than that, you'll see me doing retro runs. You'll see me doing indie reviews, and otherwise just having fun with my people. And that's it. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all allowing me to be here again, and I'm looking forward to the next run.
And it was such a treat to have you, Prez. Like, seeing that was so awesome. So glad you got the orb glitch. And I know it was posted in chat already, but again, Black in Flash presenting Juneteenth, class of 2026, ! Juneteenth in chat for the schedule, and just learn more about the awesome group of speedrunners that is Black in Flash, ! BAF. Again, keep the love, keep the Black joy coming. The GGs for Prez. Hello, gamers, and welcome back for the final run of today's episode of Express Lane. Now, this is going to be absolute chaos because it's going to be a whole bunch of dogs. So get your dog emotes in chat. Pup time. Get ready to use a lot of emotes. It is JPEG, Happy by 3, Gondor Tower Guard, and Blonde Kavon doing Sheepherds, all levels, 25% difficulty, 4-player co-op. So whichever one of you wants to start the chaos, introduce yourselves. Judging by that laugh, it sounds like JPEG. You did see first.
It'll be me. Hi everybody. My name is JPEG. I am here with my 3 wonderful, incredible friends playing a very goofy, silly little party game where we play as herd dogs. And we thought the most important thing for this episode was to be 4 little Freyas. So I am the expedition. Oh my god! Expedition 33 dog on the right. I'll be the red ring when we switch to top down.
I'll go next. We'll go right to left. We're reading manga, baby. I'm Blanque Vaughn. I'm the dog with the butterfly mask because, of course. I use he, they pronouns, and happy to be here with dogs. I'm pink, and I have a pink circle, or shape, or whatever. It's fine. And I'll pass it along.
I'm Happy by 3. I am the spaghetti dog. And they, them pronouns, and I will have a yellow shape when we go top down.
Hi, I am Gondor. I am the archaeologist dog. I like to dig things. I will be the blue circle, and also the pilot for this expedition.
No, expedition.
Sorry. Expedition.
I'm so sorry.
You can't make me say that.
All right, I will hit the button and we will get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
So as chat has already noticed, we are 4 little Freyas.
So
This is what the run sounds like. For
Yeah, this is most of the run. So Sheepherds is about herding sheep, as you might have guessed. We are herding dogs, even if we don't play as herding dogs. Although today, thanks to Freya, we are all 4 herding dogs.
I like how some sheep went in, most of the sheep went in, and a couple were just like, nah, fam.
Nah.
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
That is a great segue to the category we're doing. So we are playing 25% difficulty, all levels, 4-player co-op. And the big thing about 25% difficulty is in the top left there, you'll see, like, for this level, it's 10 purple and 10 yellow. So when the sheep go through these flowers, they turn a certain color, and then the colors replace each other. So when they go up here, about half of them are going to turn purple, and the other half are going to stay yellow. The reason we can get away with that is because we're on 25% difficulty, and the quotas we need to meet are so low that we can just kind of brute force it, and it still works.
Yep.
Yeah.
At higher difficulties, it's more of a puzzle game. At lower difficulties, it's just barking a lot.
Yep, and then if you end up getting so high in the difficulty, it ends up just kind of being the same thing over and over again.
How'd it go? Gondor, how's yellow? Everyone else did great. Everyone else did great, Gondor.
Oh my god.
You, Gondor!
No!
No!
Yes, this is the chaos.
Truly heartbreaking.
What?
Oh yeah, so when a sheep goes into the pen, the sheep, what's that actually called?
The shear shack.
No, the sheep house pen, the sheep shack. Yeah.
The sheep shack.
Shear shack.
The sheep shear shack. Shearing sheep. When a sheep goes into like the goal area, another one spawns by falling from the sky. So whatever the number of sheep you start with is, that is the number of sheep you will have.
That's profound logic. The number of sheep you start with is the number of sheep you have. Sheep
also-
you have or the sheep you have.
It's the number of sheep you have the whole time, no matter what.
Oh my god.
Sheepherds following the laws of physics.
Yeah.
So, because this is a video game of all time, it has auto scrollers. And this is
This
fun.
isn't one.
Oh no,
This isn't one
sorry.
yet. This is just the one where the camera starts like an auto scroller to fake you out, which is cool behavior.
I'm lying on the internet for fun.
You think someone would do that? Go on the internet and tell lies?
How dare.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that we haven't really gone into along the way that we're doing this, mostly because we're running and hammering bark, which does in fact make them go a little bit faster, but it also like changes their direction to be a very specific direction. So like the direction that your arrow is the direction that they will go when you bark. So like if you do that,
we talk about how absurdly clean that was, Gondor. Good lord.
Oh, beautiful.
You aimed those so perfectly to me. That was bravo.
So like you are actually pointing with your control stick and being like, you're going to run this way now. And you can, and the other thing that's going on is like the ring around us is not just for like a visual support for where we are. It actually is kind of like a vibe ring. So like sheep don't want to touch it naturally. So like if I'm just running along the side of these sheep, they won't want to get closer to me. But you can, if somebody else is standing there, stress the sheep out so much that they go through your ring even though they don't want to. So that's why you do actually have to be like working together, and why sometimes you'll hear one of us be like, excuse me, because we'll get upset. It's like, how dare you? I was trying to protect something.
Just barked it through.
Yes, and you did this to me. But it also means that if your friends are gathering a bunch of stuff, you can just run right through the middle and ruin whatever they're doing.
Yep.
So...
It's wonderful.
Yay.
Ooh,
now we get to do an auto-scroller.
Ooh, auto-scrollers. I know what that means. All right,
yeah.
So how, like... and I'm going to use the exact verbiage that I saw as was question. Since this is a herding game, how difficult is it herding all of you together to play this? Because like you four, you tend to play some games together.
We literally hang out every single night.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of which game we will be playing, but we literally hang out every day.
We were in a different VC before this.
Yeah, that's not fair. Sometimes you hang out with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes I hang out with my wife and then come hang out with you after she goes to bed.
Yeah.
It's like, what made you decide to play this specific 4-player chaotic game?
It was cute.
Look at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You get to be a dog.
We saw like the Next Fest for it like a year ago or whenever it came out, and just immediately we're like, everything about this game screams that it's our cup of tea. Like, it's clearly absurd, like
It's
slightly asynchronous co-op and puppies.
Yeah. So, like, there was nothing, like, we just thought, we were like, oh, it's a game where you work together, piss your friends off, and also, hey, what's going on up there?
I got the blues in me.
There are plenty of blues, so I started trying to turn some purple on purpose.
Got it.
Almost.
On purpose.
Like- Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna stand over here. I swear I'm being helpful. It's so that if they go through the portal, I can help.
Yeah, the thing with 4 players that sometimes an individual job is just stand there.
Yeah. But it's
valid.
good
It's my favorite job.
because you get to block them from going to where they shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Was it nighttime? Nighttime.
Also, I do want to
Yeah.
clarify, the sheep love this.
Yeah.
They love how it feels. They think it's great. They're having a great time.
So we have figured out on this one with the low quota that if you send them through the middle like that, enough of them.
Oh, no, one red ran away, so I lost him.
One traitor. God, we're washed.
We're washed.
So here's the deal with nighttime. During the daytime, when they walk through a different patch, they change color to that patch, like, exclusively. Nighttime, their colors stack. They essentially go through, like, glow bushes, and they, like, the colors stack. So if Gondor expands his menu, you can see that the menu explains how to get certain colors.
Wait, there we go. Got it.
That's 10. If those all go in, we're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like comment in chat saying, I love getting to stand around and look pretty.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this another? No.
No, this is not auto-scroller. This is
I was just gonna say there
Vine Conquer.
infuriatingly is tech in the auto scrollers, and I say infuriatingly because I agree with Asuka. The purpose of an auto scroller is for the host to get to say whatever they want for a little bit, and so an auto scroller that actually has tech should be banned.
Yeah, that should be illegal. That being said, you know, we can shut up sometimes, maybe, potentially.
You can say whatever you want whenever. It's your dog's birthday.
I'm just enjoying watching the chaos.
It's such a fun game. It's so fun.
It is so fun. And it really is, like, I mentioned a little bit earlier that, like, higher difficulties are a little more puzzly. But it really is, like, a completely different game trying to play 4-player versus 2-player versus 1-player, playing, send all of these to me, actually. Yep. Let's make all of these... Oh, no, the blues got mixed up with them. Oh. Well,
and the prom
that's still
tomorrow.
35. That's enough blues. That's enough blues. And the prom is tomorrow.
There's also a lot to say about, like, sheep herd logic that happens in this game. Like, the way that they will, like, if one herd moving one direction meets another herd moving a different direction, the way that they will combine, the way that they will route around each other. Like, there's, like, real considerations in this game. Which is very silly considering it looks like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but so, like, the different gameplay, like, it feels very different at different difficulties, at different amounts of people. If Gondor presses LB to show the bonus challenges, every level has these bonus challenges, and if you get them all, you get a gold bone for the level. So, like, rather than just meeting the quota, you have to do it with certain types of combos. You can't, like, you only have a certain margin of error for getting the wrong color in. Like, it adds a lot of complexity and really turns it into, like, a precise puzzle game versus just yelling at the sheep till they go in the house. So, you know, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, this seems interesting, but I'd really rather... I think the game would be better if it was, like, more precision-based. Great news, you can just play it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't.
Yep. I think for the most part, if we were to
did do that
showcase
one time.
You would end up having to unlock all of the different dogs, and we thought it was more important that you see the dogs, all of the different variants of dog. Oh, wait.
All right. We're good. We just need these white ones to go in.
And I barked some extras from the side.
It's the best part of every level when you and 3 of your friends all scream at the sheep at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a quote.
This is... I can feel Asuka, like, opening Steam as we speak.
Bold of you to assume it wasn't already.
Yeah, okay,
wish listed. Yeah.
She's like, I've been there. Actually, she's like, actually, I own the leaderboard now.
Yeah. You already complained. You've just had a run sitting there for like a month that I just didn't notice. That wouldn't be for me. Oh, that SRC mod. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh man. There they go. They love to go into
sheep say trans rights.
Yeah, sheep say trans rights. Look at them go.
Oh, we thought we did this clean yesterday.
That was
perfect.
really good.
Pink. That's the chicken area.
Chicken area.
Chicken area.
Up.
I swear to God, that means in like a minute or two.
So, Asuka, do you have any other dog-related questions for
Oh my god. I'm waiting for a button that you threatened before the start of the run.
Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah, this one?
Yeah.
This is a perfect level for it because we kind of just wait for these dudes to run over and split here.
Does it change the sheep's color at all?
No.
No, it would be awesome if it,
But I also had that question. I like where your head's at.
But what if? Hear me out.
Yeah.
it would be especially awesome if it washed them off like the regular water does.
Yes.
Either that or paint them yellow.
Don't press Y right
button
away.
is
Super important.
Yeah, we gotta cram into the corner.
Outer
real
Wilds
quick.
mentioned.
Outer Wilds. Woo!
Up in
That is
the top
confirmed
left.
by
Yeah.
the devs.
Love that.
Well, by confirmed, I mean I posted in the Discord and said, "Is that an Outer Wilds reference?" And they reacted with a banjo, which means yes. Auto scrollers have text, so you'll notice that all I'm doing is just like ramming my face into the right side of the screen. We did notice that if someone is off screen to the right, the camera runs slightly faster. So my job in the auto scrollers is just to do what a dog would prefer to do in this situation.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, what?
Okay, sure.
Oh, you fixed it, though. Good fix.
Sure.
Good news is we have 76 orange and we need 10. So
Nice.
should be all right.
I don't know.
Also, roll call. Pets, dogs. What you got?
I have 2 wonderful cats, Indy and Belmont. Belmont, every single night, there's a point where I say, everybody say, good job, Belmont, because it means Belmont has found me in the house because he has forgotten where I am and then remembered.
Yeah. And then he gets excited that he found you.
And then he gets excited that he found me. And then as a bonus round, my parents have a big, dumb golden retriever named Gracie. And she's kind of like my extra sibling. Specifically in that I was really excited to be on this episode because when you were like Freya's birthday chaos, I was like, oh, that's so cool because my parents have started going to dog birthday parties with their dog without me.
Love it.
So I get to
Without
get
me.
back at them. Yeah, so I get to get back at them and go to a different dog's birthday party.
Yes.
That rules.
I love that.
As chat has already noticed, Belmont is the best cat. I adore that cat. Gondor also has 2 cats named Indy and Belmont in that Gondor lives
so
in that house.
weird.
What a crazy random happenstance.
I have an orange cat named Udon because he's a good noodle, and a black and white cat whose name is Pepper, but his government name is Emperor Palpatine is my dad. And I forget that sometimes, and then they send me things from his insurance. And I'm like, oh yeah, legal documents say those words. And I have a retired service dog named Willow, who, if you go watch the Turnip Boy run from SGDQ 2022, you can see her chewing on a bone the whole time. She was sitting with me while I commentated.
Good girl. And my mom has 2 Westies, and the younger one is Chloe, and she's a princess, and always looks like you just hurt her feelings, and very cute.
So yeah, I 100% understand the official government names for dogs. So Galahad's name, because again I'm obsessed with Arthurian legend, is Lord of Siege Perilous. So people that have no idea what the Perilous Seat is are like, what the heck? And I'm like, just deal with it. Freya's is because I'm also a horrible person.
Kevin.
And love Final Fantasy IX is never forget me.
What?
Which like given Freya's story in Final Fantasy IX, I told them just like, why are you that
is that their
cruel?
registered names?
Yeah, that's their registered names. Lord of Siege Perilous, and then Never Forget Me. And they're like, why did you name Freya that? That is horrible. I'm like, but you understand the reference.
but
Also, sorry, I yelled at Kevin a minute ago. He was barking the sheep out of a thing they actually needed to touch.
So the one problem sometimes is you'll notice the kind of sheep that we need on this level is white, but there's two kinds of white. So we need
glow
like
white.
the combinative white. We need all three colors of mushrooms make bright white. Kevin thought we needed other white and was like, we have to keep them out of here. And
or it was on
that happens
purpose
frequently.
for content, baby.
Yeah, probably.
I can't
It wasn't your fault.
Run me a
Luke did it,
little
etc.,
bit
etc.
longer. I'm having such a good time.
First try every time. It was RNG manipulation.
Yeah.
What other lies
mom
do
works at-
speedrunners tell? My mom works at Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yes, we've all done that at some point where we very confidently are like, oh my god, what are you doing? They're not supposed to be white. And the other person's like, yeah, they are.
What you're talking about.
Hey, this level sucks.
That's a
Yeah, this
bless,
level's a pain in the
bless
butt.
your heart moment.
One of the new mechanic they introduce here. You can open that up, JPEG. If I send them right up there, we get... That should be 10 red.
Oh god. Oh
No,
god.
no. You guys be cool. Okay, saved it. That's 12.
cool,
We're good on
be
red.
Sorry, it teleported me directly in the middle and ruined everything. Oh my god, I'm a failure.
There's a mushroom on your shirt. Aw.
I'm a failure. Yeah.
Oh,
This
well, I
level
didn't
combines
feel it.
teleporters, tides, and glow shrooms, and so it is. It's infuriating. The tide levels can be terrible.
All of the mechanics that you have learned so far,
Yeah, I can see
all
that.
at once.
Okay.
Which is not too bad because it's 25% and we can still just like a little bit ram our faces into it and be fine. But that was one of the levels when we were getting all the gold bones together.
You're good.
Like in our casual playthrough. We also did our casual playthrough of this game 4-player and we got all golds together. And that was one of the levels that made us consider not getting all golds for a little bit.
It required tactical face ramming.
Yeah.
Yeah, which really generally we're ramming the sheep into the walls as you see us compress them against different surfaces along the way here.
By the way, sometimes when we're going to a new level, you can see that some of us run in a different direction than the others. That is roleplay. It is not making a mistake.
It's RNG manipulation.
Showing off the scenic route.
We're getting into character.
Yeah.
This game is really good and you should buy it.
It's not time loss, it's roleplay.
Yeah.
That's a new speedrunner
Swag strats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not time loss, it's swag.
Oh god.
I love when we get to the end, we all just bully them.
Real clean.
That's the best.
Love it.
That's
Oh
offense.
my god.
This game
Stop bullying,
also
they like
has,
it.
little mini games in it in the overworld that you can play,
Yeah.
like Whack-A-Mole, or collect all the little
Yeah,
chicken babies.
Bark-a-mole. Yeah. We're not
My
really sure what
personal
happens if
favorite
you
thing
win
that
them.
they
It's just
do-
like you won and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I like how so many of those sheep are like, I'm gonna swim.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so swimming takes all of the colors off of the sheep.
But I want to get them
So
orange.
that is why we are doing that, like, on purpose. Go over to the orange flowers, you jerks. Thank you.
As you
So
bully the sheep.
the water washes all of the colors off of them. I got
Gotcha.
those for you, Gundam. And now I'll go down here to Mark. And now the purple ones.
Oh.
Wait.
Wait,
Oh my
beginning
God.
for-
God,
Every part
Well,
of
that
me
was-
hurts being 4 short on orange.
That looked 4 short and 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That looked like everything was
Isn't
going
that
to
a
go.
song by Chicago?
Yes. Everything looked like it was going to go according to Keikaku there until it all fell apart all at once.
Yeah,
so
plus the purple
this should
sheep
not
shows
be a 3-cycle
violence.
level, but that should.
They do.
They will do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna block the top part if somebody. Oh no. Oh no. Those white sheep are causing problems.
Yep. The mob behavior
Go, go, go,
in
go,
this
go, go,
game
go, go.
is consistent enough to be a fun speedrun, but has its moments where you're like, surely that can't be what you're supposed to do, right?
The sheep are like, you thought wrong.
And
1-800 you thought. Okay. We do blue first, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
It
there you go.
doesn't really matter. We just always do for some reason.
My job is to stand at this portal.
Ooh, nice shot.
There's 18 blue? Yeah, that'll get you there.
Then I just
all
get
11 yellow.
alone for a second.
That'll get us there
and
with no
then
margin of error.
Turn around. Okay, great.
Okay, the yellows are.
Oh, it saves! Oh, I'm gonna save it! Dang it! I did not save it.
I'm so sorry. I was
some of
busy
them.
pushing the aquas in.
All good.
It's fine. Gondor and Happy were watching me getting the yellows in.
Yeah, we were helping.
Yeah.
And at no point did it occur to me that I could walk over to the other side and be more helpful.
Oh no.
Hey,
You know what,
what-
Kevin? That one was you. that you can't blame.
hey,
me.
I got one again.
Shout out to that
I-
one yellow sheep.
I'm gonna sit
Yeah.
here and pee for a while.
Dedicated to the cause.
You know, we were told before the run started, it's like, hey, if you have to get up to pee before the run starts, now's the time. But instead,
Like, nah, we'll do it during.
we'll do
Just like, just you wait.
We'll go during.
Yeah, chat.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that to the producer before I go on comms for SGDQ.
like
Yeah.
5 to 10
Alright,
seconds.
Go ahead.
5 to 10 seconds before we started this run. I think it was you, JPEG. It's like, are we allowed to pee on screen?
Oh, by the way,
Yeah, I did. During countdown, I was like, can we use the piss button?
thanks. Bye. And to his credit, Richard, without even asking to clarify what that meant, said yes.
It's, yeah, everyone, give some love to Richard.
Yeah.
Two producers for Hotfix.
If you
put
notice-
up with things.
They put up with us so much. They've put up with me like 3 times this month, and they deserve a Nobel Peace Prize for that. You may notice that this level is a pain in the butt and stressful. That's because it's the last actual level. But we do have one more thing before time is called, so fret not. There is one more level. It's just... and there it is! Every single part of this level is built to make your life miserable. So what should have happened there, and I didn't want to say it out loud and jinx it, was that it was about to be 1 cycle, which is unheard of on this level.
Yeah.
But alas...
Yeah, and we're sending plain sheep through the shear shack so that they can be deposited again on the other side. Because it's easier than sending them back.
Oh, there's exactly 4 in here.
over the
Okay.
ram.
I just got to be so careful.
If you.
Okay,
1, 2, 3, we're good.
Oh yeah.
I gotta throw out our Richard in chat. So you can't have a PB without the P.
Yeah.
Okay,
True.
so this is the final level. This is the credits level. And so the thing is, we're gonna let the dogs do the shout outs. Everybody ready to go? Just
The sheep are
And I
like,
know this means a lot to several of you in the chat right now.
not all, several. It's a very
Yes.
strangely specific and not specific number.
you know who you are.
You know who you are because we're literally barking your names right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And time is coming up when we hit the shear shack. No!
No! Gotta get every pile of confetti. All right, coming up in time.
time.
Jeez.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
We're gonna go into family photo mode over here. Well, we actually do shout outs. Yay! Everybody do.
Yay!
Normal. Okay. My name is JPEG. I'm on Twitch as JPEG_EXE. You can find me on Blue Sky at JPEG Place. The next place that you will find me is backstage supporting all my wonderful hosting volunteers, of which there are some on this stream right now.
Yay!
So you can find me backstage supporting all of them at SGDQ. And otherwise you can find me in Archipelago doing this. So.
Specifically this.
Yep.
Yeah. This is good content, right?
It's the confetti you collected.
Yeah. I'm Blanque Vaughn. You can find me at Blanque Vaughn. This is great. Dogs, everybody buy this game. It's fun and normal and good, and yeah, see you around.
I'm Happy by 3. You will also next find me around SGDQ doing all sorts of things. And if not, then you can find me also on Discord playing Archipelago with these 3.
And many more.
Yes.
Gondor. Good luck finding me. I don't really exist for time.
That sounded wild. Good luck finding me. You'll never catch me.
Yeah, I will also be at GDQ running emotional support for as many people as I can. Yeah, this is a good time.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and Chad is appreciating. Yeah, Chad is appreciating how hydrated the dogs are.
Yeah,
hydrated. This is challenge pissing. If you can piss 6 feet in the air straight up and not get wet, you win a new car.
I cannot believe you found a way to reference that.
Well, it's like me being a new Chicago. I'm thinking of the Buckingham Fountain. I'm like, it's good places.
Yes.
We can do it. We can make a little Buckingham Fountain.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
Oh, jeez.
There's 4 of them, right? Does it go 4 directions?
Wait.
I almost regret doing the show like thumbnail. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that. And I love the sass that the dogs' heads have when you're barking and handstand peeing.
Yeah.
On that note of handstand peeing sass, everyone keep those GGs coming. I just looked at Richard put good dog on the stream. Oh my gosh. Everyone keep the GGs coming. This was an awesome run of Sheepherds and an awesome run to end the night. So thank you everybody for having this wonderful chaos that my little girl Freya has picked out for all y'all. Remember GDQ.gg/hotfix if you have a run that you want to submit. And who knows, you could be on the next episode of Express Lane when we showcase some of those runs that have been submitted. But FYI, if you just tuned in and you're wondering what is on the screen right now, do not worry, because we are going to replay both Express Lane and Hidden Heroes that was on earlier in just a few minutes. So sit back, rehydrate, because I think those dogs need to rehydrate again, and we'll just replay everything. But tune in tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, and you can see the newest episodes of Crosshair and Speedruns from the Crypt. So on behalf of all the runners here today, on behalf of my wonderful corgi co-hosts, I'm Oscar424, and I will see you next time.